You can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and it's easy to make your picks with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals. Prize Picks is the place to play. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on the second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime, use code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
Old school jewelry stores here in Memphis don't like what Genesis Diamonds is doing, but regular folks here are asking what took Genesis so long to get here. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis Diamonds is a game changer. More selection, higher quality, extreme value prices like you never knew existed, top designers, non-commission experts, and ironclad warranties. Genesis is the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans. The owners are Tennesseans. They've dominated the jewelry scene in Nashville for nearly 20 years. Their store here at Poplar and Perkins Extended will blow your mind. Diamond rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, thousands of engagement rings, colored gemstone jewelry. It's a jewelry superstore with no pressure, no games, and no phony pricing. Also, you've got to see their amazing selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Pristine watches in pristine condition, value priced. They have all the hard-to-find models in stock. So what are you waiting for? Hit up Genesis Diamonds in Poplar Commons at Poplar and Perkins Extended. You are going to thank me for this.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the long clocks, wanting to take the 8:15 into the city. There's a whistle up above.
Greetings and salutations on this Hump Day edition of Sports 56 Mornings, the Wednesday, October 18th, 2023 edition to be exact. You got Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd gathered once again in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. The Overstock sale is underway at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program brought to you each and every day by our friends over at East Memphis Ace Hardware. Currently 49 degrees, clear skies. We're looking at a high today of about 68, so pretty chilly, but very, very nice. I would imagine that you would take that any day of the week as opposed to oppressive heat or cold, cold weather. Sunny skies and 68. Yeah, that's a keeper. Tonight, a few clouds from time to time with a low of 59, and then tomorrow, partly sunny with showers possible, about a 50% chance tomorrow with a high of 78 degrees. We're going to be very, very busy. We're always busy. But we're going to be very busy today with guests. Coming up in just about less than 10 minutes, Alex Simmons will join us, the head women's basketball coach at the University of Memphis, getting ready for her first season. At 7:30, we will talk to the head football coach of the UAB Blazers, Trent Dilfer, as UAB gets set to take on the Memphis Tigers this Saturday in Birmingham in the Battle for the Bones. At 8:05, we'll talk soccer and plenty to talk about, including the U.S. national team in a friendly last night in Nashville, but Memphis 901 FC begins the postseason on Saturday. Lawrence Dockery will join us to talk soccer. At 8:25, we'll talk college football with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. And then at 9:05, we're 1 week out from the start of the regular season in the NBA, at least for the Grizzlies. Next Wednesday is their opener against New Orleans, and we'll talk to DeMichael Cole, as we do every week from the Commercial Appeal. At about 9:25, 9:30 or thereabouts, it'll be 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. Get your list together, send them in to us. You could do so via the Sports 56 listener lines by texting in at 901-360-8255, or send us your lists via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to the website sportsmemphis.com. Got some college football from last night, Major League Baseball postseason, a little NBA news, including a trade. It's all coming up on a busy Wednesday edition. What's happening?
Not much. No, you must be happy today.
Man, oh man, that was That one escalated, didn't it? It really got out of hand.
The Phillies like to mash the baseball.
Another first-inning home run, Trey Turner, then Kyle Schwarber hits 2 bombs. They continue to be solo home runs, but who cares? Then they started to add the hit brigade, he tried to say, for everybody else in the lineup. Guys coming off the bench smacking doubles, and yeah, it was a fight to get to the bat rack for the Phillies last night. But look, I still take it seriously like a coach, one game at a time. It's 2-0 for the Phillies. I don't count my chickens at all. I try not to say too much. I mean, after it's over, I'll put down, that's one more. That's one more you cross off. So 2 down, 2 to go. But Arizona, I would imagine, is not done. They will get the home field advantage tomorrow as they go to Arizona for the playoffs in this National League Championship Series. So maybe a different story for them at home. But the Phillies did what they had to do in Philadelphia, taking care of business, and a great performance once again on the mound, this time by Aaron Nola. So, Phillies up 2-0 in that series. The American League Championship Series resumes today, and that'll be in Arlington with the Rangers up 2-0. And what's interesting, as we talked about yesterday, Eli, even though the Rangers won the 2 games in Houston, it's not close to being over in the ALCS because the Astros are so good away from home. And just recently, at the end of the regular season, they destroyed the Rangers in Texas, in Arlington, to win a 3-game series. So maybe Houston gets back in this series, but they better win Game 3.
Yeah, the rare that it's better for the team to be on the road, but that's Houston's weird season of being under 500 at home all year and dominating on the road. So this change of scenery could do well for them. But much like the Phillies, the Rangers like to mash the ball as well. So it's some pretty good offenses remaining in this postseason.
I had no idea for back to Game 1 for the Phillies in Arizona. Zach Gallen was the starting pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I had no idea that at one time he was a member of the Memphis Redbirds.
I did not know that either.
Yes, in 2000, it was either 17 or 18. I want to say 18. Part of the Cardinals organization, played a little bit for the Memphis Redbirds, and didn't last long in the organization. Obviously, he was dealt, and he's much more better for it with Arizona. He's found his way. But man, oh man, he's a former Redbird. You have Tommy Pham of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's a former Redbird. For the Texas Rangers, Adolis Garcia, all-star, former Redbird. There may be a few more. I haven't really dissected all the rosters, but that's 3 that come to mind right off the bat that played here in Memphis for the Memphis Redbirds. So again, day off for the National League Championship Series, the travel day. The American League Championship Series resumes tonight, Game 3, down in Arlington. College football last night, kickoff week number 8 with 3 games, including the Liberty Flames hanging on to win another one, and they remain unbeaten. They're 7-0. Beat Middle Tennessee State 42-35, dropping the Blue Raiders to 2-6.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee State, they're better than their record would indicate. They played a lot of close games, but can't seem to get over the hump in those games. And Liberty's really good. Caden Salter, their quarterback, and Cooley, that running back. They've got a pretty mean running game between those 2 guys. Cooley ran for 3 touchdowns, I think, and the quarterback, Salter, had 160 yards rushing in the game. That offense is pretty high powered. Those 2 guys are the main weapons.
Yeah, if you had the over, you were a winner last night. 77 total points scored in that one. Meanwhile, it was the under in the Jacksonville State-Western Kentucky game. 2 really good teams. Western Kentucky has been very solid since Tyson Helton took over that team. Jacksonville State, still in the transition period. So they're another team like James Madison that can't go bowling, yet they are now 6-2. As they win on a last-second field goal, 20-17. Western Kentucky falls to 4-3. Rich Rodriguez doing the job for Jacksonville State.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. That's a good team. Their quarterback last night, like Zion Webb, 39 pass attempts, 28 rushes. That is a busy night.
You're going to sleep well after that one.
I was like, when I looked at the numbers, that's unbelievable to me. 28 rushes and 39. I mean, they play so fast. They're as fast as anybody in the nation.
Do you know how many plays they ended up?
I don't know. I don't know how many total plays they ran.
Okay.
but they go at Mach speed at all times. Like it is play over. It's a lot like Tennessee. I mean, I think they might be the second fastest team in the country behind Tennessee. I think Tennessee might be the. When I was watching the game last week, I think they might have said they were second to Tennessee only. But yeah, they are on the ball and going. And that quarterback, that is a hell of a night.
Remind me, Rich Rod wasn't like that when he was at Michigan or West Virginia, was he?
I don't know if he was. They didn't go that fast. I don't think they were at that type of speed. I think they like to play fast, but I don't think it was like at that type of speed.
Yeah, they're at Mach 1. And then South Alabama beat Southern Miss. Wasn't a game at all. 55-3. South Alabama goes to 4-3. Southern Miss is just a bad football program. They're 1-6. But the interesting thing from this game was the whole billboard deal that Kane Womack was very upset about, because I guess Southern Miss had put billboards up in Mobile about their university, and then he took exception to it. Talk about bulletin board material, literally.
That is true. Boy, Southern Miss, man, that program, that is a different program these days than what it used to be.
Yeah, you think about like where the Tigers are, the Memphis Tigers are, and sure, most people, including yours truly, think they should be in a power conference. They're not, but it could be worse. You could be stuck in Conference USA, where Southern Miss never got out of, and they have just gone plummeted since.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's just a bad team.
Tonight, there's a couple of games in college football. We have Florida International and Sam Houston. That's Mike McIntyre's team at 3-4. Sam Houston still winless at 0-6. And then Jerry Kill and his New Mexico State team, 4-3. What are they, the Aggies? They're the Aggies, New Mexico State. They will play at the Miners of UTEP, who are 2-5. That's on the docket tonight in college football. One of those weeks where you got football on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, just like last week. But as we talked about, we have a very, very busy guest schedule today. And if you like variety, you, I'm sure, have enjoyed listening to Sports 56 mornings and Sports 56 middays before we move to the mornings, because we love variety. It's the spice of life. So we got everything today. As I mentioned, we're going to talk soccer. We're going to talk college basketball, college football, Grizzlies, and we're talking women's basketball right now. We are very pleased to be joined by the head coach of the University of Memphis Tigers, and that is Alex Simmons, who you can follow on Twitter at APSims2. She's in her first year as the season is just around the corner, and Coach joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing fantastic. Hope you're doing well, bright and early. I know you're an early bird with the kids and everything like that, but man, oh man, it's here. You ready to rock and roll? The season just about here.
I am, and yeah, you are right. We are already up and going. We've had a good week this week. We have a close scrimmage this weekend against UT Martin. So, we've treated this week as if it's our first game week, and we'll see what we put on the court on Saturday.
So overall, how has practice gone and getting ready for this first season here in Memphis?
The practices have gone well. We're doing a lot of breakdowns just because everybody's getting used to a new system and a different coaching style, a different playing style is the main thing. And so, I think everybody's locked in. This week has been a little bit of a learning week. But yeah, I think, what we're seeing right now is what we need to be seeing, and the improvements that we need to make are what you would want to see as a head coach coming into a new program.
How's the chemistry so far with the returnees, including a great player like Maddie Griggs and the other young ladies that you brought in through recruiting or transfer? How has that come together as far as the chemistry?
The chemistry, we started that off the court. We really, really preached to them that in order for us to be close on the court, we got to be close off the court. And so they really took some independency with that, getting to know each other, where each other come from. And then on the court, I think when you put together players who have won, it makes it a little bit easier for that chemistry to be even tighter. So, from that standpoint, I think that made it easy also.
You talk about putting in, new systems, new style of play, everything else, a lot of newcomers. How much does it help to have some of the players that you brought with you from Gardner-Webb that know that system and know that style?
It's been huge because you can kind of plug them in, and the teaching doesn't have to go as in depth. They kind of already know what to do and what to expect. For me as a head coach and from our staff, and doing that, they are able to sometimes in the locker room let the players know, hey, this is a game week, this is a prep week, this is what you need to expect. These will be the expectations this week. When it comes to what we want. In our system, what looks we want, they already know those looks, and it hasn't done anything but I think elevated where we need to be at this point in the year.
Well, for those who don't know, what is that system? What are you going to run offensively, defensively when we see the Tigers hit the court?
Yesterday made me feel really good because we finally were able to. We kind of took it step by step, and yesterday we were finally able to put in our presses. And that's right there, what I saw yesterday really made me excited because we're really going to be able to get up and down the court, turning people over, being able to play in transition, using our ball screens to score, using our post players, our bigs to be able to get us paint points. But I think it's just a fast-paced system and a system that allows our players to have a lot of freedom and a system that is fun to watch as a fan.
Obviously, it helps to have players like a Madison Griggs, who was named first team all-conference preseason. What does she mean to this team?
Maddie means a lot, and Maddie has big goals in her future and big things to happen in her future. I think it's a little bit of a motivational thing that, this year is the first year that Maddie has been preseason first team. As good of an accomplishment that is, to be that great of a player and this be her first year, I think that says something. I think that sends a message to Maddie, and I think that motivates her. But having somebody who can be as offensively gifted as she is, and what I think people will be able to see is that she has really, really expanded her game, where that now she's not just dependent on the three-point shot. She's taking it off the bounce. Mm-hmm. She's a very, very good passer and sees the floor very, very well. So I'm excited for Maddie to be able to display some of the things that she's been working on this summer.
As you know, student athletes have a lot of choices now with the portal, and she could have left, she could have went somewhere else, she could have stopped playing at the University of Memphis. When you took over as the head coach, was it an easy sell? Was it a hard sell to bring her back?
Well, honestly, I think Maddie was already in the mindset that she possibly wanted to go in the portal. And I had my first meeting with them was a team meeting, and then I talked to her over the phone, and I just told her that you have a lot of work that you could do. You have a lot more to give. She wants to be a professional athlete. She wants to be a professional women's basketball athlete. And, I felt like that if she stayed, that we could make that happen for her. Because I knew that between myself and my coaches, we would put in the work with her. And, I think that really was the tidbit that sold her to stay. And she loves her city. She loves Memphis. Maddie is somebody who, she gives back to the community. She does things on her own. She's a great face for our program.
Among obviously you get newcomers on the transfer portal, but among your freshmen that have come in this year, any of them that are going to be able to contribute on this team right away?
Yeah, I think, everybody, all of them, we have 5 freshmen, and all of them at some point will be able to contribute. Right now, Tasia Williamson from Nashville, don't be shocked if, in some lineups we don't see her in that starting lineup.
Wow.
Because she is, from the summer to now, she has really improved, and she's just an overall good teammate. She's the voice, surprisingly enough, that you hear all the time for a full practice. She's the encourager, she's the learner, and she's just improved drastically. And so I think for her to come in this system, she's somebody who, was signed with me at Gardner-Webb, decided to go a different direction, and then decided to come here. So her commitment to me and to us, is huge. Allie Hollyfield, I think she's somebody who, you possibly could see, depending on obviously how things go. But regardless of if she's starting or not, she'll be a contributor off the bench for us. She's the long ball.
Oh, hitting those threes, right? Downtown shooter?
Yeah.
Coach Alex Simmons joining us, head women's basketball coach at the University of Memphis. You can follow Coach on Twitter at APSims2. You guys were recently picked 5th at the Media Days preseason poll. Does that something that ignites the team? Hey, we weren't picked first, we were picked 5th. We're going to be the hunter, not the hunted. Or is it one of those deals that just kind of rolls off your back?
Yeah, I think it just rolls off your back, to be honest. But, that's kind of where we expected, and I guess that's the good thing about, myself. I'm pretty realistic. So, looking at, the conference, what was coming back, what we brought in, I felt like 5th was very realistic. And I called that, before that ever came out.
Do you look at South Florida as the program, the team that is the top of this and what you kind of aspire to be in this conference?
The longevity of South Florida, absolutely. I mean, for a team like that to be in the top of the league year in and year out, I think that that just speaks to his consistency and their consistency as a program. So definitely to be able to do that year after year, I definitely would want our program to be there.
You didn't shy away from putting together a very tough, daunting schedule, and that includes a November 13th game in Knoxville against your alma mater, against the University of Tennessee. So again, wasting no opportunities there, Alex, to jump right into the fire and to play some of the best. So what was that like? I would imagine when you took over, you go, yeah, right away, I want to make sure we have the Vols on the schedule.
Well, my first priority was to get our South Carolina game squared away. And then, as that process was going on, that came to mind, well, let me see if Tennessee will play. And luckily, it was a process, but luckily, they said yes and agreed, and we scheduled a home and home. So we go to Knoxville this year, and then they come here to Memphis next year.
Do you have any idea? I know it's next season. If that game will be played at El Marrone, or will it somehow be moved to FedEx Forum?
We are in the works of hopefully having that game played at FedEx Forum.
Okay.
And we hope to have multiple games at FedEx Forum.
The South Carolina, you play them next year?
Correct. Next year at home.
So you'll have Tennessee and South Carolina both next year?
We will. And I can't say just yet, but we're working on another one. So stay tuned.
Is it LSU or Baylor?
You like a challenge. You clearly like a challenge.
I love it.
We do, and I think it's important also for this community to be able to watch good women's basketball.
Absolutely.
It's fun to see people, get blown out, but it's also fun when you have really good teams and a really good game to watch.
So recently they had the student madness. Went a little different route than they have in the past at the University of Memphis. Had it at El Marrone on your home court there, and seemed like it was a hit. Did you guys enjoy it? I know your dance moves seemed to enjoy it. You were pulling out all stops for that one, Coach.
Yeah, it was just a fun atmosphere. And that was our first experience in, a crowd at Memphis. And so we don't really know any different. So it was a great time for us. It was very, very fun. Our players enjoyed it. Back in the locker room when they were waiting, they were you could tell their adrenaline was going and we weren't even playing. I think it was a good experience for our team, for our fans, for the students. I hope we can do it again.
November 6th will be the season opener that will be on the road in Murfreesboro against Middle Tennessee. The home opener at El Marrone will be against Alabama State. That'll be on November 9th. And as you said, Coach, you have a closed scrimmage, so you don't have an exhibition game per se?
We don't. We don't have exhibition games, but we do have on October 24th, we're having an open practice to the public.
Oh, great. What time will that start?
I knew you can ask me that. I believe it's at 5:00.
Okay, well, I'm sure they can go to Go Tigers Go and check out the website and find out more information about that. There's going to be a lot of excitement. I know there's high anticipation for what Coach can bring to the table with this women's basketball team. It certainly has taken steps over the last couple of years, and hopefully that continues under the leadership of Coach Alex Simmons, the head women's basketball coach at the University of Memphis. Again, follow her on Twitter at APSims2. Coach, thank you so much. I know you're very busy this morning. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Have a good day.
You too. excited. I think she's going to do an incredible job, just like Katrina Merriweather did, kind of take the torch and run with it.
That'd be crazy. I mean, that's cool that next year they'll have both Tennessee and South Carolina coming in here. And if they're adding another one, especially if it's another home game that she's talking about, man, oh man, that'll be really cool for fans to have those teams coming in here.
Yeah, now I'm curious who it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
The way she chuckled, it's got to be another big name. Could you imagine it was something like LSU?
We'll get Gino back in town.
Yeah,
yeah.
Get UConn back.
My gosh. Yeah, they got him out of that conference. I don't know if they want to see UConn ever again. Folks, if you're thinking about something for dinner, lunch, or any kind of tailgating parties, just parties with a capital P. The Crazy Coop can provide all that great food for you with their hot wings. They are crazy because they have 27 crazy flavors, 27 great flavors and seasonings to put on those hot wings. They will make them to your perfection, and they are absolutely out of this world. If you haven't tried Crazy Coop, what are you waiting for? They've been open now for a while. 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. That's in Bartlett. And then the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. As I talked about with the show, we have a variety of things. Variety, certainly the spice of life. And they have the variety at the Crazy Coop. Like I said, 27 different seasonings and flavorings for their hot wings. The sweet maple bourbon, the taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. The mango habanero, the sweet taste of mango, followed by the heat. If you want to go really hot, the crazy sweet lemon pepper hot or the crazy suicide. And if you're not into that, then get the 4-cheese roasted garlic. Absolutely delicious. Or the barbecue bacon bourbon. All these variety of hot wings are there for you at the Crazy Coop. And they got the full schedule. They got the full menu in Bartlett at that location. If you're looking for a great catfish sandwich, big, juicy half-pound hamburgers, all the great sides like the fried okra, the green tomatoes, the fried dill pickles, they have it for you at the Crazy Coop. Again, they will cater any type of event you have coming up. Just ask them about their catering services. Whole wings, party wings, boneless wings available, and those big, juicy chicken tenders. They're open 7 days a week from 11 to 9. Ask them about their crazy packs. All you have to do is order online, go pick up, or have any of the services delivered to your home or office. And again, ask them about their catering services. Find them on Instagram and Facebook. It's the Crazy Coop. 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten, and the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. When we return, the head coach of the UAB Blazers, Trent Dilfer, joins us. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
Hi, fellas. Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and it's fall now. The weather's changing, the days are getting shorter, and we all are at least beginning to think about Christmas. This will be our 38th Christmas at Russell Brothers Jewelers, and I enjoy every minute of the season. Come see our wide selection of the finest jewelry in Memphis. Jewelry guaranteed to make her happy. Diamonds and rubies, sapphires and emeralds, the most beautiful gemstones you can imagine, and you'll find a vast selection of rings and earrings, bracelets and pendants that will show those gems off to their finest advantage, and they'll put a smile on her face. With our 5 decades of experience, we can help you find just that perfect piece. The piece that says, I love you. For 38 years, we've offered the most stunning jewelry in Memphis, and when you couple that jewelry with our quality and beauty, our value and service, you'll be glad you joined the Russell Brothers Fine Jewelry family. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Hey, Mid-South South, you looking for a new ride that'll save you some big bucks? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 to its signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 to its signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 to its signing. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase, all 36-month leases, and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P501 7859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P501 7859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting a little bit crowded right now inbound on Summer Avenue, right on schedule actually for this time of the morning. Same thing on Austin P Highway southbound, working your way up to I-40. It's picked up with more volume just in the last few minutes coming up from DeSoto County on 55 northbound all the way up through South Haven. Hey, don't miss it this year. Smoky Mountain Fall Festival going on now through the end of the month. You still got time to get up there and see those beautiful fall colors. Check it out today at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:30 the time. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you on this Wednesday morning as we count down the days until Saturday, big Saturday, Memphis and UAB in Birmingham. The battle for the Bones is back, and we are very pleased to be joined by the head football coach of the UAB Blazers, Super Bowl champion Trent Dilfer, who you can follow on Twitter at Dilfer's Dimes. Coach, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
We enjoyed having you on before the season started and kind of picked your brain as what your expectations were. Obviously, the team had not played it down, so it's really hard to gauge and look into that crystal ball. Now that you have played basically half your season, what are the positives, the negatives so far, Coach, that you have seen from your squad here in your first year?
That's a good question. I think there are a lot of positives despite our record. I think our guys have bought into something bigger than themselves. There's a great vibe and culture daily. Guys are working hard. Effort's never an issue for us. I think some coaches have the challenge of teaching their teams how to play hard and work hard. Mm-hmm. That has not been a concern of ours. Our players are very bought into their work preparation and the effort which they play with. We haven't played very well. We've played poorly in big moments, which I think is a reflection on me personally. That's something that I need to do a better job of, preparing them for these critical moments within games that kind of tilt the balance of every game. Mm-hmm. We've been banged up. I never use that as an excuse. I look at more as, okay, what can I do? What can me and the strength team do to keep them healthier? So we've changed some practice habits. I've always been a pretty hard practice guy. I believe in hard physical practices in training camp and in the season. I've had to pull back on some of that to keep guys healthy. So, when you're 2-5, it'd be really easy to go dark, right? To go negative mind, and your wife's ugly, you don't like your kids, your food sucks, like you have body image issues, like all these things. When you lose football games, are really easy to go dark, and we've really fought that. I really believe in a positive mindset. I don't try to be kumbaya. I'm not telling everybody there, but everything's fine. We're going to be great. We're lovely. It's not that message. It's more like, hey, let's make sure we're focusing on the progress. Let's make sure we're focusing on things we're doing well. Let's make sure we're enjoying one another. One of the things I'm adamant about being around this game so long is when you lose, you can't, it can't be the building that nobody wants to go to. It can't be the place of the Grim Reaper. Like, you still need to, we're in this building a lot as coaches and players, and we need people to come in and be excited to be around one another. And I've worked really hard on trying to make sure that's the vibe around here. But then there's also a dose of reality and truth-telling that we're not meeting our standard, even close to meeting our standard in our preparation and our play. So we need to address those things daily.
From your perspective, with your first opportunity as running a college program, has it kind of been what you expected? Are there things you're still learning? What's that experience been like?
I get asked this all the time, and my answer is, we basically ran a college program in Nashville. Mm-hmm. So there hasn't been a lot of changes in or surprises in the build of a program. I think maybe some of the bigger surprises is, I don't know if they've been surprises. You just have more people. Maybe it's that simple. I was managing, let's call it 130 people at Lipscomb between your staff, your players, and I look at 9th all the way through 12th, the players I was managing and coaching and mentoring. Here you have 189 in the building, but then you have the whole athletic department. There's so many other dynamics of development and athletic department relationships and marketing and game day experience and all these different things that there's just more. I guess it's a more complex daily schedule, but it's something I love. I love the challenge. I love the complexity of it. I love the problem solving. One of my mottos is there's no problems, only solutions. So constantly looking for solutions to things that people would call problems invigorates me and stimulates me. So for that, I've never had more fun. And I feel like a crazy man saying that being 2-5, but I've never had more fun in football than I'm having right now.
Well, you said a moment ago about big situations that maybe you haven't come through all the time in big moments, but you've also had your moments in games so far, despite 2-5. What you guys did to South Florida, a team that's certainly on the rise. I also look at that Tulane game. We were talking last week as we prepared for Memphis and Tulane that the only team that actually ran the ball well against that Tulane front was UAB. So you have found those gaps. Your quarterback has done some good things. It's just, I guess, finding that consistency, Coach.
You nailed it. The consistency piece is the piece that keeps me up at night. And I think any coach that I've been around, when they know what to look for, like, you're always looking for ways to help your team become more consistent, because that's what greatness is, right? Greatness is doing the very difficult consistently well. And I've just been racking my brain on things I can do to help us become more consistent, because our flashes are as good as anybody. When we go into Georgia, best team in the world in college football, and we move the ball, and we get stopped, and we're in that game. And then all of a sudden, we stop doing the things we were doing well, and next thing you know, you look at the scoreboard, and you're down 21, 28 points. Like, what just happened?
Right.
Like, we were doing pretty good here. At Tulane, we have control of that game. I mean, in games, but the games you're controlling, offensively, defensively, special teams, emotionally, like, you have control of that game. I look up the scoreboard, next thing you know, we're going to lose it. And I'm like, how do we lose control of this? And it's a consistency piece. Last week, we start in a hole. We're down 14-0 before you can blink an eye, and we get back into it. It's a one-possession game. We have a play backed up that's going to go 90, and we miss it by a fingertip, and then it just kind of falls apart on us. And I think you nailed it. It's about searching for that piece that helps them become more consistent. And again, we came back in the office, and that was the theme: is how can we as coaches help them become more consistent in their habits on and off the field, which will then translate into consistent performance.
You mentioned the Georgia game and having some success there. Playing a team like that, seeing that type of program as you're trying to build a program, what does that do for you guys to see that up close and play against them?
I think it did two things that were revelatory. Number one, for our players, they saw highly recruited, the guys that they played against in high school or saw in 247 or saw on 3 or whatever it was, like, ooh, that guy's the dude. They saw him up close and personal and said, okay, I can compete with that guy. I'm not that much different than that guy. But here's the other thing they saw was, holy smokes, are they well coached? And do they do their jobs? One of the biggest things we learned was that is not just a big, strong, athletic, talented team. That's a team of grinders. That is a team of well-disciplined, technique sound, run to the football, play team defense, play team offense, enthusiasm. Like their sideline, the energy they play with is different. Those are kids that have bought into what Kirby is preaching. And I thought that was great. Like, okay, you can be the best and not be too cool for school.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they are, I'm talking technique wise. They take a drill, and I actually did this in our team meeting. I showed a drill that they run and that I know we run. And it's a very important drill. We do it every single day. It's called an EDD, an everyday drill. And then I showed them do it in game. Every single player on their team take that drill and do it in the game. Then I showed us do the drill and not do it in the game. I said, that's consistency. Take it from the practice field and then apply it in the game. And they do it every snap. Like every snap and every position that needs to do this, they do it. And I'm like, that's why they're the best. Yeah, they're talented. I'm not dismissing that. But they're super well coached, and then they apply the coaching in the game. The other thing I learned is, from a recruiting standpoint, what it looks like. And, now we don't have the same pool of players, but, we're, and Memphis probably in the same boat, you're looking at developing these types of players. So what do they look like by sophomore, junior year? Length, joint size, shoulder width, just basic traits, lateral movement qualities, bend, and I sat there in pregame, and Kirby and I talked for like a half an hour in pregame about this exact thing. And it was good for me to see what the best looks like. And I left that game saying, got it. Like, I won't ever make a recruiting mistake again. I may not get all the people I want,
right,
but I won't make any mistakes on the type of people, on the type of players I want. And then here's the third thing, too, that nobody talks about with Georgia. They had all these off-season issues. But they've addressed them, and he is getting rid of problems. And he has good kids. Like, those kids are good kids now. They're team kids. They're good students. Like, they're doing the things off the field to be professionals. And he's done with kind of the, hey, just go grab a guy because he's got a lot of stars by his name, and he's going to play good football. Like, he wants good people, too, because good people, I believe, and I think he believes, too, create consistency, create culture. And we talked a lot about what that looks like in the recruiting process and what type of indicators are there when you're talking to families about the quality of the kid and what his 4 to 5 years in college football, how he's going to grow as a human being.
Right, and as you said, if there's an issue, deal with it head on. Don't sugarcoat anything. Deal with it head on. Trent Dilfer is joining us. He's the head football coach of the UAB Blazers. They will host the Memphis Tigers on Saturday. All right, Coach, when you're looking at tape, what do you see out of Memphis?
Flipping talented, man. They've done a great job. I've always had a lot of respect for Ryan. They recruited our school when I was in Nashville. We had a lot of kids that we were pushing to really explore their Memphis offers, stay in state, go play for good people. There's a lot of good things about Memphis football. makes me sick saying that because I really don't want to like y'all, but there's a lot of respect I have for that program. And you put on the tape and you see really talented football players, really well coached. Their schemes are really solid. Their players have bought in. Like, they play fast because they understand their schemes. You can see on tape, like, is there confusion by these players or is there clarity by these players? And, both these last 2 weeks, UTSA and Memphis, there's a lot of clarity that their players are playing with. That tells me there's very good teachers on that staff. Like, these staffs are teaching football well, they're teaching scheme well, they're teaching technique well. This conference is really good. You always have a challenge. This is a big challenge for us because they're playing good ball. We're not playing good ball. We're banged up. They're not that banged up. So, there's a lot of challenges here, but, the excuses are for losers, and we're losers right now, but we won't plan on being losers forever. So we've kind of flushed this last one, and we expect to play our best football.
Is that Bones trophy ready?
Well, you guys have it.
Yes,
so,
I saw it the other day, so I know it's here.
Yeah, are you trying to rub that in?
No. I'm just stating a fact because we had you on. Remember your SID?
We had it
yes.
for yeah.
What did you guys? Did you just borrow it for a second? Like, why did you have it? And then
they cleaned it or something.
We did all the heavy lifting. We got the stuff cleaned and polished and repainted, and I tried to lift that sucker with a torn labrum about threw my back out.
I was going to say, that is heavy lifting. That trophy is heavy lifting.
Kill your golf game.
It's 94 pounds. So you guys have it, which, again, makes me kind of sick to my stomach after we did all the work on making it pretty and stuff. But and that score of the last one, I told our players the other day, like, that breaks me really sick to my stomach that it says, 46-9 or something was the last matchup. So, we have a bitter taste in our mouth. We do have a chip. I'll tell you this. I'll tell everybody in Memphis this. We do have a chip on our shoulder. There's a great deal of respect. Please hear me correctly. Great deal of respect. But we're pissed off, too. So they're coming to play a pissed-off football team, and I don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll definitely have a chip on our shoulder and be ready to rock.
Well, it's nice to have the rivalry back after all these years that it was dormant. The trophy on the line on Saturday at your beautiful ballpark, and looking forward to getting down there myself to see it for the very first time. I haven't been able to get down yet since it opened, but looking forward to it. And, Coach, we always appreciate it. We thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you, not only this weekend, but the whole season, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Appreciate you guys. See you.
Take care, Coach.
They have struggled defensively. They give up a lot of points.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, their numbers with the defense. And of course, we'll have the Tiger football report tomorrow. We'll have Ryan Silverfield on the program tomorrow to get, obviously, the Tigers' perspective. But offensively, they have done some good things. Zeno's 12 touchdown passes, 6 picks. He's made some mistakes, has nearly 2,000 passing yards. They've run the ball pretty well. Like I said, they were effective against Tulane there for a good portion of that game. But defensively, you could pass on them. You should be able to run on them. Hopefully Memphis can find that running game again.
49 to Georgia Southern, 41 to Louisiana, 49 to Georgia, 35 to Tulane, 35 to USF, and 41 to UTSA. Like, they don't stop much. The only team they stopped this year was North Carolina A&T. We got only 6 points against them.
Yeah, and that's going to be his challenge, getting really good quality defensive players to come and play for him at UAB. I would imagine offensive players, skill position players, they'll be able to get a number of them. I think they're going to be able to score points as he moves forward in his coaching tenure at UAB, be a good offensive team. It's whether or not he can get the defensive players.
This side of our program is brought to you by the folks over at East Memphis Ace Hardware. That's right there at the corner of White Station and Quince. That's where you'll find them, and that's where you're going to find all kinds of stuff that you need for those DIY projects around the house. Looking to doing some painting? Well, they've got a massive selection of paint over there, a huge selection of Benjamin Moore paints for you to choose from. Of course, any other DIY projects around the house, they've got the tools for you, and they've got a great staff. If you can't find exactly what you're looking for, they've got a great staff that will help you find it. And even if they don't have it, they'll get it for for you in just a day or two. Had that experience there just recently. The Big Green Egg and all the accessories, they've got that for you there. You could go by, see all the different sizes of the Big Green Egg, check one look without, again, any other of the accessories that you need. They've got that taken care of for you as well, as they're a platinum dealer for the Big Green Egg over at East Memphis Ace Hardware. Again, corner of White Station and Quince. For all those DIY needs, go check them out at East Memphis Ace Hardware.
All right, when we come back, a little NBA talk, what to expect in the Grizzlies' final preseason game on Friday, and an NBA trade, and it did not involve James Harden. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
It doesn't matter if you're at the lake, if you're hunting, fishing, playing golf, or just playing around, Scooters Plus can hook you up with the mobility that you need. Scooters Plus has the largest vehicle and parts inventory in the Mid-South and the best service department. You can choose from ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, motorcycles, dirt bikes, trikes, scooters, and even electric bikes. Come in today to start or wrap up your holiday shopping with 25% down on Christmas layaways. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Call Sam at 458-8843 or go online to scootersplus.us.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P 5017859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P 5017859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $29.99 do it signing. I've got EV action with a 2023 Nero EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 do it signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 do it signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
It's football time in Memphis, and if you or someone you know is thinking of selling their home, it sure better be home selling time in Memphis. And just like you may have a favorite team, favorite coach, or favorite players, you may not have a favorite real estate agent. If you don't, think about drafting me, Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. I always tell people they need to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers to find out who will be the best quarterback of their home selling team. Have you heard people say that when you want the job done, call Sheldon? Find out why my award-winning, highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option can mean the difference in whether you sit or sell. Also find out how to take advantage of our worldwide relocation network. Call or email me at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now, and go Tigers.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. If you missed our interviews with Alex Simmons and Trent Dilfer, we'll get them posted for you on the website, sportsmemphis.com. We have the featured audio segment. You can check that out. And then, of course, you can always listen to the podcast of all our shows. We break it down hourly for you. Grizzlies in action Friday in Milwaukee, their final tune-up game. I'll be curious to see if they go with the starting lineup that they'll use next Wednesday when they open the season here in Memphis against New Orleans. It does appear that Marcus Smart will be playing in this game. That's the vibe out of practice yesterday. So with that said, do you play Marcus Smart with the other starters, and will those starters include one Zaire Williams, who was interviewed yesterday? I know DeMichael Cole, who will join us at 9:05, talked to Zaire, and his quote was, "I would be lying to you if I told you I didn't want to start." So we'll see. And it's funny because Luke Kennard, during media day, I had asked Luke Kennard about whether he had a preference in starting or coming off the bench. And, he took the high road. It doesn't really matter, whatever to help the team, that kind of thing. But I think personally, to have an assassin three-point shooter coming off the bench, that instant offense, I like that a lot better. I put Zaire in the starting lineup, but that's me. I'm not the coach. But it does seem like maybe they're heading in that direction. So I'll be curious to see what kind of lineup we see Taylor throw out there on Friday, and will it be the lineup that he will use to start the season Wednesday?
Yeah, I would think there's a good chance. With it being Marcus Smart's only preseason game, I would think you'd want to get him out there for minutes with the guys and kind of do this as this is what everybody's role is going to be, kind of going into the season. So good to hear Marcus Smart say that he's ready to go and going to play on Friday. That's good news to have him healthy and ready to do that. It'd be nice to see him in action for the first time with the Grizzlies. And we are here. It is upon us.
It is upon us, and there was an NBA trade yesterday, and it was not James Harden. James Harden remains in Philadelphia. I don't know how that's going to all turn out, but he's still there, still part of the Sixers. But Oklahoma City and Houston made a trade. OKC acquired Kevin Porter Jr. and a couple of second-round picks from Houston, that immediately released Kevin Porter Jr., who's been in trouble with the law. The Rockets acquired Victor Oladipo and Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
Yet the Oklahoma City, they love to acquire draft picks, and they've got a ton of them over the next, I don't know how many years now, but they just stockpile draft picks, continue to stockpile draft picks. Cost them a little bit of money to do this, but they were willing to take him on and take on that salary and then make that move. Kevin Porter Jr. did have one of the charges against him dropped as they, I guess, found out or realized that original accusation was that he fractured a vertebrae of his girlfriend, but he did not, and she
said he didn't hit him, right?
She says he did not hit her, but now there is, some of the charges.
There's evidence, right?
Well, there's strangulation. I mean, there could be fine lines here between what he did not. She said he did not ball up his fist and hit her.
Okay.
There may not have been any hitting, but one of the charges is strangulation. So now I think some of the charges do have to do with hitting. She says he did not.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff, obviously, this is still to go to court and be decided. But one of the things was that they had originally said that he broke one of her vertebrae, and that is not the case. So that charge related to that was dropped.
Would you rather be the Grizzlies for the next 5 to 10 years or Oklahoma City?
Right. I mean, I would take either one. The thing is, with Oklahoma City, they've got good players, but they've also, if they hit on some of these draft picks and use these draft picks correctly, because they've got ability to make trades and everything else, Oklahoma City has a chance to become really, really good. But that's still to be determined. Do you use those draft picks correctly? Can you make the right moves? Can you do those things? But as far as just pure assets, Oklahoma City has more because of the draft assets they've stockpiled.
Well, we remember once upon a time when they used those draft assets pretty well to nail a few guys you may have heard of. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. And it still didn't work out. It's still Oklahoma City. It's still a small market. And right now, it's a fun team with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with Chet Holmgren, with the players that they have on that team, those young players, Jalen Williams, and all those assets. But, when it's push comes to shove down the road, will those young guys want to stay together, or will they want to find greener pastures?
Well, yeah, I mean, you always deal with that, but the way the NBA is set up now with everything, it is now a lot easier to hold on to these guys, and I would, with the ability to be good, if they are good, I would think that they will be able to hold on to those guys long term, just like the Grizzlies have re-signed Ja and re-signed Desmond Bane. I mean, they have set it up where these small market teams now, with the advantage of what you can pay guys, hold on to these players generally.
5 favorite things. Get your lists in. We'll do this at about 9:30. Your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. Your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. You can text in at 901-360-8255 or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to the website sportsmemphis.com.
Just in next year's draft alone, the Thunder have 4 first-round draft picks.
Wow.
They have their own. They have Houston's, they have the Clippers, and they have Utah's. Now, the lowest of the 4 will go to the Pacers, so they'll only have 3 of those picks in the end. But they've got 4 right now. Technically, they have 4 first-round draft picks. They also have Houston's second-round pick. 2025, they've got their own pick. They've got Miami's pick. They've got Philadelphia's pick. They've got a couple of extra second-round picks. I mean,
Can you package
crazy.
some of that up to make a nice trade to bring in a veteran player? You probably can, but I can tell you what you're not going to get is a free agent. You're not going to get a big-name free agent, which is what Memphis has gone through over the years. They're not going to want to go play at Oklahoma City, even with a young, talented team. But what you can do is package all those assets, if you can, and make a deal to try to bring a veteran player in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying using those draft picks, I'm not talking about drafting guys. I'm talking about using them in trades.
Yes.
Now that you've got your cornerstones, now you look to do the things around that, and it may not be is not drafting necessarily a bunch of young players.
Right.
It's going to get the pieces that you think you need. But when you've got that many draft picks to deal from, you've got it works out very well.
All right. We are heading to hour number 2, and again, like hour 1, it's going to be busy. We got some great guests coming up. We're going to talk some soccer at 8:05. Wake up the soccer kids, folks, if they're not already up for school, because it's time to talk to Lawrence Dockery. That'll be in about 5 more minutes. And then at 8:25, we'll talk college football with Jerry Palm. Got some interesting news from the world of college football that we'll get into, including some news involving the Ole Miss Rebels. At 9:05, we'll talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole, and then, as I mentioned, 5 favorite things. 1 hour in the books. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Response to the all-new Genesis Diamonds has been incredible. People are loving what we brought to Memphis. Genesis is a different kind of jewelry store with more jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. What's the Genesis secret? Our owner was born and raised in the diamond industry in Tel Aviv. After selling wholesale to high-end jewelry retailers for years, he hated the insane markups they were getting away with. So he stopped selling to the stores and started selling direct to the public. That philosophy is still a core part of Genesis DNA as we continue to sell the highest quality diamonds at true no-middleman direct importer prices. With international connections and massive buying power, Genesis has what it takes to beat anyone else's price every day on every diamond. Discover the Genesis difference, forever changing how people in Memphis buy diamonds and fine jewelry. Now open at Poplar and Perkins, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
It's time for the fall haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the fall haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Clean up this wreck that happened earlier this morning on 240 eastbound, right near Billmore's Parkway. Still tons of rubbernecking going on. Still heavy traffic right now on 40 westbound. Over here from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Still a lot of traffic flow coming up through South Haven right now, but it's moving on 55 going northbound all the way into South Haven up through South Memphis. Weimer's Jewelry, they're back open better than ever. 7525 Highway 64. Go by and see them today at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:05 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings. The Wednesday, October 18th, 2023 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 49 degrees, clear skies, now sunshine. Sunny today for most of the day, high of 68, and then tonight a few clouds with a low of 59 degrees. Second hour of the program brought to you by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. The holidays, man, they are rapidly approaching. You're looking for that special something for that special someone. Well, check out what they have to offer at James Gaddis Jewelers. They've been providing beautiful jewelry in the Memphis area for more than a quarter century at the East Memphis location. And before that, they began on Summer Avenue. So they've been a part of the fabric of this community for quite a long time. James is the guy you want to talk about, or talk to, rather, when it comes to jewelry, because he has all the credentials. He's a master jeweler, certified appraiser, diamondologist, and he's graded by the Gemologist Institute of America. So if you need a little conversation, you go in and you see James. You need something appraised, you go in and you see James. They are your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. So if you're looking for that special engagement ring, you plan on popping the question during the holidays, make sure you check out James Gaddis Jewelers. But for all their other fine jewelry, including watches and bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and pendants, plus one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry and custom-made jewelry, it's James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. It is a busy time for soccer fans out there. We had a friendly for the United States last night in Nashville against Ghana as the U.S. won 4-0. And, of course, around here, Memphis 901 FC preparing for the postseason in the USL Championship. And they begin Saturday with a home match against Louisville. And we are pleased to be joined by our soccer guru. He's Lawrence Dockery, writer for World Soccer Talk and host of the 901 Soccer Podcast with Bluff City Media. You can follow him on Twitter at LDoc93. And Lawrence joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. You were in Nashville last night. What was the experience like?
Well, I got to tell you, it was just a tad underwhelming, to be perfectly honest. The crowd was not great. It's Geodis Park there in Nashville is a 30,000 seat soccer stadium. It's the largest soccer stadium in the country. And U.S. Soccer did not announce the attendance during the game. And if you'll notice, when it comes to stuff like attendance and TV ratings and stuff like that, typically people don't like to sit on good news and keep it under wraps. So after the game, it got to be like pulling teeth trying to get the attendance from anybody. I got straight up told by one person, stop asking. Eventually, it got to be that they had about 18,000 people there, so just over half full, which speaks to a larger trend, which I guess I could get to in a second. But the game itself, the U.S. played awesome. They were up 4-0 at the half. They got their first goal 12 minutes into the game. Gio Reyna for the U.S. got 2 goals. Christian Pulisic got a goal. Fowler and Balogun got a goal. They looked. I don't know the last time I've seen the U.S. play a half of soccer that was that dominant. They looked like a professional side against an amateur side is what it looked like out there last night, which is quite refreshing to see because typically under Greg Berhalter, the U.S. men's national team coach, they typically don't play like that. They'll have some big score lines. Under him, they've won a lot of games like 5-0, 6-0, 7-1, stuff like that. But it's against, let's be real, teams from like, those very tiny few nations on the northeast tip of South America, like, Suriname or, very small countries with mostly amateur players. But Ghana is a team that the U.S. has history against. We've played them in the World Cup 3 times. They've beaten us twice in those 3 games, so it was very refreshing to see them come out and just from start to finish thoroughly dominate a somewhat comparable team.
Update, Berhalter was out and then now is back, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so after the 2022 World Cup, his contract officially expired, which there wasn't a single person with a functioning brain that thought he wasn't going to be the guy for the next 4 years because U.S. Soccer, for whatever reason, just loves this dude. I sometimes have to compare it to, like, you remember when Jason Garrett was the coach of the Cowboys?
Oh, yes, I remember.
And everybody everybody would look at that and go, what in the world is Jerry doing? Why is this dude going 8-8 every single year and still the coach of this team? For how long was he the coach of the Cowboys? Like 7 or 8 years. I want to say. And, every so often he'd sneak in there with like a 12-4 type season. But by and large, you knew what you were going to get, and it was going to be for most of the time with Jason Garrett. That's Greg Berhalter's tenure with the U.S. men's national team. Now, the difference is that his contract nominally was up at the end of the 2022 World Cup, and then he did nearly lose his job. Well, I don't know how nearly he lost his job. Publicly, it looked like he almost lost his job because after he went to a leadership conference, an off-the-record leadership conference in New York, he bragged about almost kicking Gio Reyna out of the World Cup team and then said how awesome he was for allowing Gio Reyna to stay in the World Cup. And that got out, and Giovanni Reyna's parents retaliated and went to U.S. Soccer and told them that, like, oh, hey, by the way, 25 years ago, Greg was violent with his girlfriend, now wife, and then U.S. Soccer hired their own firm who told U.S. Soccer what they wanted to hear, and Greg Berhalter is back. He's been in charge for these last 4 games. He was not the coach over the summer when the crowds are great. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the 4 games that he's been back, the crowds, 3 of the 4 crowds have been half-full soccer stadiums, which, as we all know, are significantly smaller than football stadiums.
Well, because you said Reyna, he had 2 goals last night?
2 goals, right.
So is that relationship all good now? Are we all good with the Reynas?
Maybe. The cynic in me wants to say absolutely not. But he's been working his way back from an injury that he picked up in the Nations League final over the summer, I believe, against Canada. So he hasn't really played since then. So he got 45 minutes on Saturday against Germany and 45 minutes last night. And post-game last night, Greg Berhalter said that was the plan all along.
But Lawrence, you're saying that even though maybe they've rekindled the relationship, maybe the fans are protesting that he's still the head coach by not coming to these games. That's what you're inferring, right?
That's a part of it, yes. There's a larger issue in play with, quite frankly, the U.S. men's national team is not popular right now. They don't have they're not likable to very many people. I think the attendance and TV ratings reflect that.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they were drawing very well over the summer. And Greg Berhalter has been back for 4 games, and 3 of those games were half-empty Major League Soccer stadiums.
All right.
That's a small sample size, perhaps, and, I don't particularly like the guy, so maybe I'm using that as a little bit of extra ammunition. But, we'll see.
You're looking at the stadium as half empty, the others looking at it as half full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lawrence has made it pretty clear on social media his feelings for Berhalter. All right, so let's talk about Memphis 901 FC. They kind of backed into this home match, unfortunately, because they got hit pretty badly on the road at New Mexico. I don't know what it is about the southwest portion of the United States, but I remember when they went out to Phoenix and got clobbered this year, and they get beat by New Mexico bad 4-1. But luckily for them, Louisville lost. So Memphis 901 FC gets to host Louisville on Saturday. They met during the regular season. How do you see their chances to make a run, Memphis 901 FC, in the postseason?
Well, I do want to nitpick that just a tad. I wouldn't say that 901 FC backed into the playoffs.
No, into the home match.
Oh, into the home match. Okay,
yes,
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Now, the New Mexico game is a little bit. You referenced the Phoenix game. I would say the situations were different. Phoenix has been one of the better teams in the league for most of the season. Although looking at the standings, they're the 6th seed in the Western Conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
The New Mexico game, it's one of those weird situations where 901 FC didn't need. 901 FC could get a draw or a win, or if Louisville did anything but win. Whereas New Mexico absolutely had to have that game if they wanted to go to the playoffs. So you were going to get a home run effort out of New Mexico, but not necessarily a home run effort out of Memphis. And I think that's what happened. But we still get the home playoff game because Louisville has completely fallen apart down the home stretch. As far as, 901 FC's chances against them, you got to like them. They played twice this season, and Memphis didn't lose either of them. They won in Louisville, and they got a draw here. And, Louisville's, I believe, the last 6 games, they've only won 1 of them, maybe 2 coming into the playoffs. Them falling apart is a big part of what allowed 901 FC get up into that 4th spot.
Mm-hmm.
But 901 FC's got a huge opportunity at home on Saturday here. The game's at 5:30, by the way. It's not at 7. It's at 5:30. So if anybody was listening and planning on going, make sure that you're aware the game's at 5:30. And Louisville City joined the USL Championship in 2015. They have gone to the Eastern Conference Finals every single year of their existence.
Wow.
901 FC has an opportunity against a lower-seeded, lower-ranked Louisville City to end that. They can put Louisville City in a casket and end their run of dominance. And you got to like their chances because you're at home and you are unbeaten in 3 straight. And you're, quite frankly, playing a lot better than they are right now.
Memphis would take great joy at ending anything Louisville. I think.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I was about to say. For the folks out there who aren't really big 901 FC fans, I would hope, and this is something that I've tried to do since 901 FC joined the league in 2019, is I've tried to make this Memphis-Louisville thing a thing, kind of the way that it was for so many years in basketball and to a lesser extent in football. But, you had the Denny Crum v. Dana Kirk years, which were incredible. Then you had the Rick Pitino v. John Calipari era, and those were several 10-year wars between the 2 programs. And I think we've got a little bit of that on the soccer side. The second regular season meeting last year between the 2 teams saw 3 players get red cards after the final whistle, which was crazy. nothing wild like that this year. But if you're a U of M fan and are looking for a reason to go to the 901 FC game on Saturday, put your Memphis Louisville hat on it and get out there because it's a rivalry game.
Is Louisville a bigger rivalry than Birmingham?
That's tough to say. I'm going to say on the field, yes. On social media, no. The discourse between Memphis and Birmingham on Twitter for a minute was very toxic, and it got stoked by a lot of people from Birmingham, England, for some reason. And I've asked around, and nobody can quite really put their finger on why everybody in England sort of jumped in on it, but they did for whatever reason. But on the field, to be quite honest, Birmingham's really got our number, and we've gotten some good results against Louisville as of late. So I'm going to say on the field, it's more of a rivalry with Louisville, but in the social media sphere, it's more of a rivalry with Birmingham, if that makes sense.
All right.
We don't have a Louisville, England chiming in on that one.
No,
I don't. Makes it a little different. That makes it tougher. I guess the maybe the best soccer team in the city is the University of Memphis women's team, who continues to be great and now in the top 5 of the nation. How are they? How good are they? Are they a legitimate national championship type team?
Well, that sounds kind of crazy to talk about, but so far on the season, they're 12-1. Their only loss was on the road at a ranked Alabama team who went to the College Cup semifinals last year, and that was 2-1. And there was a we'll call questionable penalty called against Memphis late that led to the Alabama second goal. They've won 9 in a row. They're the number 3 team in the country, according to one of the polls. They're number 9 in one poll and number 3 in another poll. And when was the last time there was a team on campus at the U of M that was ranked as high as number 3? You probably got to go back to the Derrick Rose, John Calipari team in 07-08, probably. So they're one of the best teams in the country. And, I interviewed Brooks Monahan in the preseason, and he said, this team's much more talented than last year's team that went to the Sweet 16.
Says a lot right there.
And, they got, 3 games left, 2 of which are at home. They're at home at Park Avenue on Thursday against UAB, Sunday the 22nd against Temple, and then they close out the season on the 26th at Tulsa. And then they have the American Conference Championship, which this year is entirely at a neutral site. And you got to figure they're the favorites to three-peat there. And you got to figure if they win these last 3 regular season games and then win the conference championship again, that they're going to be one of the top seeds going into the NCAA tournament. I cannot foresee a scenario where a one-loss conference champion that's ranked in the top 10 in each poll is not one of the highest seeds in the tournament, which you would think would lead to home field advantage, because in the women's NCAA soccer tournament, most of those games are played on campus until you get to the semifinals. So you got to imagine their chances of having a deep run and matching or perhaps surpassing last year's run are pretty good.
Well, Brooks has done an outstanding job with that women's team, and Richard Mulrooney has done a really nice job with the men's team as well. Soccer is pretty darn good right now at the University of Memphis. But again, Saturday, the big one for Memphis 901 FC. If they want to stick around and go deep into the postseason, they have to take care of one of their rivals, Louisville, on Saturday. Real quick before we let you go, Lawrence, got less than a minute, but have you spoken recently to Craig Unger about the whole stadium deal? Because now, as you know, with all the conversation still up in the air about what's going on, even with Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, there does not seem to be any part of that conversation that is talking anymore about that soccer stadium. What have you heard?
I have not talked to Craig Unger in an official capacity since I interviewed him when the stadium got announced just around a year ago.
Okay.
But what I'll say is I asked him point blank, if y'all don't get this money, what happens? And he verbatim said there is no plan B.
Okay.
So hopefully, there's a lot of us out there that kind of see the writing on the wall. And I'm thinking that doesn't necessarily just include 901 FC and the Redbirds, but probably the U of M as well, because if the Grizzlies were interested in being good civic partners, they would have started talking long before the new mayor takes office. But, hopefully with the writing being on the wall the way it is for as long as it has been, that they've had the opportunity to potentially explore other avenues. But, we may get surprised. They may get what they're asking for. The city may find a way to make everybody happy. But
right.
The way that things have gone, my gut tells me that's probably not going to be the case.
All right, we'll leave it with that. He is Lawrence Dockery, writer for World Soccer Talk, host of the 901 Soccer podcast on Bluff City Media. You can follow him on Twitter at LDoc93. Good stuff, Lawrence. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Take care.
Fleet Feet is the place to go to get all your running gear. You want to make sure you have shoes that are right for you, and that's exactly what they can do for you at Fleet Feet by taking a look at the way you run or the way you walk, where you put the pressure on the different parts of your feet. They will then fit you with the shoes that are perfect for you. You can find them at 2 locations in the East Memphis. They're in the Laurelwood Shopping Center, out in Collierville, Poplar, and Houston Levy, next to Huey's. You can also find them online, fleetfeetmemphis.com. They're on social media where they keep you up to date with things they've got going on and things that you can get involved with in their group runs and other things that they do. Just a couple of months away now from the Memphis St. Jude Marathon. And a lot of folks out there are going to be running in either the full marathon, half marathon, or anything with that. And you want to make sure you have all your gear ready to go for all your training and everything else. So go see the folks at either one of the 2 locations of Fleet Feet.
I saw a ton of runners coming in today, and it's dark, and they had the reflective gear on. They look like just in time for Halloween skeletons that were running. There were like several groups I saw on my way to work. They're probably getting ready for the marathon. All right, when we come back, we'll get ready for Jerry Palm, talk some college football. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE $678.6055, MSRP $21,610, Nero P5017859, MSRP $41,090, EV6 P5017859, MSRP $49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $29.99 due at signing. I've got EV action with a 2023 Nero EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5S Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Hey, in New York, right now I'm looking at all of the unders for Jets offensive numbers. Passing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards. I'm looking at all of the unders in New York. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win, FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Atlin and Kirby Whitten and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It seems like it's taken forever to get rid of this wreck that's been out here since early this morning on 240 eastbound near Bill Morris Parkway. It has caused some problems over here on this side of town this morning, just trying to get around it. A lot of rubbernecking. Traffic still moving right now, coming inbound on 385 Bill Morris Parkway as you come past Kirby. Still not bad. I-40 as we check it out live over here from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Whitten Road. Hey, don't miss it this year. Smoky Mountain Fall Festival going on now through the end of the month at Ober-Gatlinburg. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:30 the time, halfway home on this Wednesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. College football week 8 is underway, and it's time to talk some college pigskin with Jerry Palm.
It's time for Sports 56 Mornings Weekly Chat with Jerry Palm, college football and basketball writer and bracketologist for CBSSports.com. Here are Greg, Eli, and Jerry.
We talk college football and college basketball each and every week with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, CBSSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. We also kick off 5 favorite things each week with Jerry Palm. He's the first to give everyone his list. This week's topic, 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. Let her rip, JP.
Okay, I am really putting the old in old school.
Oh, gosh, I know.
Number 5.
Don't tell me who's going to be on your list.
I'm going to show my age.
I know.
Some of these may be in black and white. I don't know.
Here we
Number
go.
5, Marcus Welby,
I knew,
MD.
knew you were going to go Marcus Welby.
Number 4, Emergency.
Emergency. Okay.
Number 3, Quincy.
Okay.
Number 2, one from this century, House.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, probably the greatest show of all time, MASH.
Quincy, I didn't even think about Quincy, but that does fall into that category. Not a bad one at
Yeah,
all, Quincy.
he was a corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to explain yesterday when I gave the topic to make sure folks understand that MASH is, even though it's a sitcom, it's all about Korea and medical and doctors and nurses. So make sure that if you liked MASH, it's on your list.
We will have no similarities on our list, me and Jerry, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, no, because I'm much older than you guys. So.
Yeah, but, I mean, look, no, you're not older than me. How old are you?
I am 59.
Yeah, I'll be 62, soon. But I don't. Marcus Welby. I remember Marcus Welby. I never watched one episode of Marcus Welby. I knew for some reason Marcus Welby was going to be on your list.
I don't think I've seen a single episode of any one he just listed.
You've never seen?
Yeah, you never saw House?
No, I never watched House.
I didn't watch House either. I heard it was like, that guy was pretty. What's his name? The actor that played House.
He's a
English guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard it was pretty good.
And the funny thing is, he got his start in. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He got his start in comedy.
Did he really?
Pretty good. Pretty good comic actor, in England, yeah.
But Quincy was, you don't remember Jack Klugman from The Odd Couple?
I know what you're talking about. I just never watched any of them.
Never watched it?
I know what MASH is. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I understand. All right. So after last weekend, what has changed, if anything, as far as your playoff teams and your projections?
No, the playoff teams didn't change. I have Oregon now as the Pac-12 champ. It's actually kind of the same concept as having Texas as the Big 12 champ. Is I just think if they get a rematch with the team that just beat them, that they would win the rematch, because I think the teams are that close together. In particular, in Oregon's case, they won't have to play on Washington's home field the second time around, whereas Texas and Oklahoma would both be neutral sites. I just think that they're even enough that they'd split a 2-game series. And the only thing I'm kind of not so sure about is whether Texas at 12-1 would finish ahead of 12-1 Oregon, because Oregon's league is better, but then Alabama's got or Texas has got that big win over Alabama, and it might depend on how good Alabama is in the end. If Texas is going to end up in there.
It is interesting, though, and I understand your rationale, but it is interesting that in those two scenarios, Texas-Oklahoma, of course, the Red River rivalry going the way of Oklahoma, and this Washington-Oregon game played last weekend going the way of Washington, that you got the teams that lost winning the rematches and both getting into the playoff.
Yeah, if the wins had been more convincing, I probably wouldn't go that way. But those were really even, down-to-the-wire games. And I just figure, those teams are basically 50-50, so I'm taking the other half of the coin in the rematch. It's really that simple. If Washington had been a more comfortable win, or if Oklahoma had been a more comfortable win, I probably wouldn't have gone that way.
Yeah, I can understand. Now, I think Oklahoma was decently comfortable, but Washington certainly... Oregon.
That game went down to the wire.
No, I know, but I say decently comfortable compared to the Washington-Oregon game, because in that game you can look at Dan Lanning, who took the blame for the loss himself, as coaches often do, but you literally can look at it and go, yeah, you lost in the game with your decision-making. So that one you could say, that maybe that was... but you could at least make the argument that maybe some bad coaching decisions cost Oregon that game. You can't say that about Texas, right?
I don't know if those were bad decisions or just it didn't work. I mean,
okay.
Those weren't... It wasn't like they're going for it on 4th and 10. They're going for it on 4th.
Yeah, but he gave up a field goal at the end of the first. He gave up a field goal at the end of the first half. I don't know why he's going for it there. And 3 points ends up coming back to haunt him.
Yeah, but you don't know how the game would have played out.
I understand. And that's what I was saying to people I was watching the game with. But still, at that point, I don't know why you don't take the points. But it makes it, instead of a 4-point game, a 1-point game. So let's say the second half, there was only all you would need is a field goal. I mean, you don't know how it's going to play out, but...
But they missed the field goal at the end of that game, right? I mean, they were set up to tie the game.
Exactly.
Right?
They were, but in that
case...
do
I have the right game in my head?
Yes,
no, you do.
Yeah, Oregon missed the field goal in the final play.
But they would have been set up to win the game if they had kicked that field goal at the end of the first half.
Possibly.
Possibly.
But is it the one loss, those two, either one of those, any one of those teams, one loss conference champion, they're definitely ahead of a one loss non-conference champion, like from
Correct.
the Big Ten, right?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, and especially because those teams would be 11-1. You know, you're talking about Ohio State, Penn State. You know, 11-1. You know, not a conference champion is different than 12-1 and not a conference champion. And if Ohio State and Penn State can they could both be 11-1, but Michigan would have to be 12-1 because they'd have to split the 3 games that they play against each other, and then Michigan goes on to win. They could both be 11-1, but Penn State would be hampered by a really poor non-conference schedule. And Iowa has a win over Notre Dame, which looks like a team that will end up in the rankings at the end, barring something unforeseen. So,
at least they play each other. They play each other, right?
Yeah.
Penn State, Michigan,
because
Ohio
they're in the division.
Yeah, but there's no divisions next year. What's going to happen next year when those Pac-12 teams come in? Is Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan still all going to play each other?
Ohio State and Michigan will. It's a protected rivalry.
Right.
Penn State does not have any protected rivalry. But there's going to be now, you know, USC, Oregon, and Washington. 3 of this year's teams are in the rankings, and UCLA kind of flitters around that area. So now you're basically doubling the high-quality teams in this league.
Yes.
You know, and Wisconsin's usually pretty good. And Iowa wins even though it's ugly. You know, and other programs step up every once in a while. So it's going to be much more competitive at the top. So you don't have to worry about the fact that you've only got 3 good teams. That won't be the case.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. How would a one-loss Big Ten champion, like if they lose the game, but whoever ends up winning and has that one loss, and it might be different, I guess, if it's Michigan or versus Penn State.
Ohio State would be the better of those teams. A 12-1 Ohio State champion would be the better of those teams because of the win over Notre Dame, whereas Michigan and Penn State did not play quality non-conference opponents.
How would they compare to like a one-loss Oregon conference champion or a one-loss Texas conference champion?
I think it'd be a problem because, especially with Oregon, because that league is just really strong. Yeah. Or Washington or whoever emerges from that league could still be, you know, problematic for a one-loss Big Ten champion. But I'd be surprised if they were left out entirely. You know, Texas, I mean, the Big 12, once you get past Texas and Oklahoma, it's a bunch of teams beating each other up. Whereas at least, you know, those 3 teams in the Big Ten have a chance to play each other. You know, and if that loss, in this case, the loss is, you know, to one of those teams and you beat the other, you know, and in Iowa, I don't know, Penn State beat Iowa. I don't know if the others play Iowa.
Stop bringing up Iowa.
Or Wisconsin. But, you know, Iowa's probably going to be a 10-win team.
Yeah, but come on.
I agree. But, you know, Iowa's like the worst, the ugliest. It's the ugliest football team maybe in the history, even by Iowa standards. This is an ugly.
Yeah, with the backup quarterback.
Outside of Iowa, I don't know if anybody would watch them in a bowl game. Seriously.
Iowa's games need to be shown in black and white. They should not be on color television. They need to be on black and white. ESPN or Fox or whoever needs to think of that. We're going to show Iowa in black and white this week because that's the kind of football they play.
Exactly. That would be hilarious. But the point I was trying to make with the Big Ten, okay, they're all right now this year, they're all playing each other, the teams at the top, and you made a great point about the quality that's coming in. Meanwhile, in the ACC, where I think it's a very strong top portion of that conference.
By its standard.
By its standard. Yes. But they don't all play each other. So what would happen?
They do not.
What would happen? Okay, a one-loss conference champion, ACC champion, whether it's Florida State, whether it's North Carolina, how would they fare against all these other one-loss conference champions?
Well, I think Florida State would be in better shape than Carolina
because of the big win to start the year.
It depends on who you lose to. But they have a win over LSU in non-conference play, and that's the probable top 25 team. They're not elite, but they're not, you know, that's a top 25 team. And I don't think Carolina's got a game like that. But those 2 teams do not play each other in the regular season. Remember, we talked about this last week.
Yes.
When Louisville was a part of it, and none of the 3 of them played each other, and Louisville got beat by Pitt. But, Florida State and North Carolina could go into their conference championship game with both of them undefeated. And then you've got a 12-1 loser of that game. They're not a playoff team, probably, because they didn't win their league, unless you get enough chaos around that opens that door. But, the ACC race is going to be interesting this year. Florida State has got Duke this week. So, that's a big game for them. And, one of the few chances left on their schedule to play a team that could probably beat them, or at least has a chance. I'd feel better about it, of course, if Riley Leonard played, and that doesn't seem likely.
I don't know why you're criticizing Iowa. I mean, their quarterback has completed 6 passes each of the last 2 weeks.
Hey, there are multiple ways to win in football.
Yes,
Iowa's an eye bleeder. I mean, it's just
it's unbelievable.
Iowa's like the 1963 Bears or something, except for without Gale.
And then you have to have one of those old announcers, like the old time announcers calling the game.
They should be wearing the leather.
Johnny in the
they should be wearing the leather helmets because literally the forward pass is a foreign thing to them right now. Like with this new quarterback, it is tough to pass the ball.
Their best receiver, tight end Eric All, is out for the year too.
Right.
So now
they've always had tight ends. They've always had tight ends. Yeah.
I write a best bets column every week, and I keep writing Iowa under, and it's down to 32.5 this week. And I still like the under. I bet the last week was 15-6.
Yes, the under hit easily last week.
Well, they were getting 10 points last week, which didn't make sense. Like they're not going to give up more than 10 points. Like you could if I got Iowa in 10 to start with, I feel pretty darn good about my chances.
Yeah.
The top 25 basketball poll, anything that stood out to you there?
No, not really. I mean, it's a lot of the names that we've heard in the preseason, in the conversation leading up to the polls. So no, it was interesting to me that there's only 3 Big Ten teams in it. Yeah, and 2 at the top. Purdue and Michigan State, I think, were 3 and 4, and then Illinois cracked the bottom of the top 25, and it just felt like that was a little bit light. I think the Big Ten's a little better than that.
Who else would you consider? Who else would you consider? Michigan?
I'm sorry, say again?
Who else would you consider from the Big Ten to put in the top 25? Michigan?
No, not Michigan. I think Michigan's going to be down near the bottom this year.
Oh, wow.
I think Maryland is going to be good.
Damn right.
I think Indiana's going to be good. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana's going to be young. But I think by the time the end of the year rolls around, Indiana's going to be a top 25 team. Although I could see leaving them out of a preseason poll. I kind of feel like Maryland is probably being overlooked there. And Northwestern is going to be good again, although I don't know if they'll be top 25.
Is it safe to say for you Purdue fans that you have moved on to basketball season?
Yes, admitted, Jerry.
Yeah, but why should this year be any different, really? I mean, last year was the anomaly. When we're paying attention to football, and basketball season is always basketball season at Purdue.
Yeah, but you care about the band. The band plays on, so.
The band is undefeated.
The band's the man. It is. All right, before we let you go, back to football. This weekend, Penn State, Ohio State, Tennessee, Alabama. What do you think of those 2 games?
I like the home teams in both of them. I'm not totally sold on Tennessee. I think they've taken a step back from last year, and as has Alabama, by the way. But I think Alabama's starting to show some signs of improvement there. But I like them at home, and they'll be still angry about last year, and especially the whole end of the game. I think Alabama's going to have something for them. Ohio State and Penn State. If Ohio State's offense is healthy, I like them. Penn State's defense may be the best of the 4 units on the field, but I don't know if I trust their offense. This is really the first big game for Drew Aller, and the first time in a hostile environment for him, really.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what Penn State's offense has. But this could be kind of a low-scoring game, which is weird because you've got some pretty good offensive talent on the field.
All right. Enjoy your Marcus Welby reruns.
Who's got the Marcus Walker rebounds?
Yeah, somebody does. You know that's
Probably. Surely
TV
somebody
land
does.
or one of those things. He is Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS. Check out his latest bowl projections and catch him every Wednesday during both the college football, basketball seasons right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Thank you, JP. Have a great week.
All right, thanks.
Take care. We'll take a timeout, come back, final segment in hour number 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau, and thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
It's time for the Fall Haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the Fall Haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
Sports and blinds, they just go together. And right now, all Sports 56 listeners get $50 off any order at Blinds Etc. South. Real wood, 3.5 to 4.5 inch plantation shutters made in the Mid-South are always affordable at Blinds Etc. South. And now get $50 off your order. Get your free in-home consultation at 901-681-0225 or go to blindsetcetera.south.llc.com. Upgrade your home with custom-made plantation shutters and window treatments from Blinds Etc. South.
Hey, Mid-South, you looking for a new ride that'll save you some big bucks? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase. All 36-month leases and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P501 7859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P501 7859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Text on the Sports 56 listener line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Says, I don't see how anybody escapes the Pac-12 without 2 losses. Too much parity with good teams and great quarterbacks. I mean, it's listen, it's going to be, I mean, obviously USC's defense is terrible, but USC certainly is capable of beating anybody.
Sure.
A lot of these.
We saw Arizona step up last week.
You go on the road into any of these places, certainly. Washington has Arizona State at Stanford, at USC, Utah at Oregon State, and Washington State still remaining.
There's a lot of what do you call it? Landmines along that road right there.
Oregon has Washington State at Utah, Cal, USC at Arizona State, and Oregon State remaining.
Yeah, three tough ones.
There's no doubt there's a lot of good teams, and especially when you talk about when you've got the great quarterback that they have in that conference. Yeah, you could absolutely see a team losing any of those games.
Well, we talked about it on the show. We talked about cannibalism with the Pac-12. That they're going to just beat each other up, and it may do them in the end as far as the playoff. But I still think it's ironic that after the implosion of the Pac-12, the death of the Pac-12, they're having the year that they're having. And they may very well have a team in the playoff depending on how it goes. But I think that Texter has made a great point that we may see something like that scenario where they all have 2 losses.
Like Washington looks great, but certainly not going to be surprised if they end up with a couple of losses.
Oh, they're not invincible. They're certainly vulnerable. We saw it. Again, I thought Oregon should have won that game. That was on the road at Washington. Washington's still capable. Michael Penix Jr. is my Heisman guy right now. I think he's the leader for the Heisman Trophy. And then we saw USC, how bad they've been at times defensively. But Caleb Williams, under pressure? Look, Caleb Williams is a hell of a quarterback. But is it a slam dunk that Caleb Williams should be the first quarterback taken? I mean, we saw finally pressure on that guy. And he succumbed to that pressure. He made some bad passes. The offensive line was horrible. But under pressure, under duress, he was not good. I still think he's a talented quarterback, but I don't know if it's a slam dunk because I love Michael Penix. Michael Penix is big. Yes, he reminds me of Tua because he's a left-hander, but he's thicker. He's bigger. Tua's breakable, unfortunately, for Miami fans. You hit him hard. I mean, he goes down. He may not get up. Michael Penix is really tough. He's my favorite quarterback. I like Drake May. I'm not in love with Drake May. There's a couple other guys out there that are certainly going to be interesting as far as the draft is concerned. But right now, my lead toward the Heisman and maybe the best quarterback is Michael Penix for the NFL.
He's certainly leading the Heisman. I think that in the end, Caleb Williams will end up being the number 1 pick.
Oh, I agree with
draft.
you. I agree with you. I'm just not sure if he will end up being the best quarterback in this class. But it is a good class of quarterbacks led by those quarterbacks in the Pac-12. This is interesting. This was retweeted by our friend Brad Logan, who comes on and talks Ole Miss with us. This came from Joe Goodman Jr. He's a columnist for Al.com, and we usually have John Tauti on when we're talking about Alabama. He's from, I don't think he's there anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but Al.com is reputable, certainly reputable. So this Joe Goodman writes, quote, "Let's just put this out there. If Lane Kiffin loses to Auburn on Saturday, then he should be fired on the spot and never hired again to coach college or high school football in the United States of America." Now, I don't know Joe Goodman from John Goodman, but it sounds like he's throwing something out there and hoping to make a name for himself because that is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. That is absolutely ridiculous, those comments. Absolutely out of this world stupid comments.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably already accomplishing what he probably set out to do.
You have the ability to ignore him.
No, I do, but I think it's interesting. It's out there on social media to bring that up. Lane Kiffin is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, right? And it would be a bad loss because right now Hugh Freeze does not have does not have Auburn in a situation to outscore opponents. And Ole Miss will probably be able to score on Auburn, even though their defense has been better than their offense. Hugh doesn't have his guys yet. I still think he'll be very good at Auburn. There's others that don't think he will be, that he's not a good coach. But nevertheless, it wouldn't be, even though it's a roadie and a tough place to play on the Plains, it would still be considered a bad loss for Ole Miss. Not a bad loss to fire a coach who has done a lot of positive things. Yes, you were bringing up the question of whether or not Lane would get that signature win. And then he got the win over LSU. He may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it was a great hire. I think it was a splash hire. I think he's done an admirable job. And a loss to Auburn is bad, but not a loss that would put a coach in peril for his job. Not in this situation. That's just ridiculous.
By the way, The Athletic, their current mock draft has 4 quarterbacks in the first round. They have Caleb Williams, Drake May, Quinn. Actually, third is J.J. McCarthy, and then Quinn Ewers.
They do not have Michael Penix Jr.
Not in the first round, no. They don't have that.
It's ridiculous.
The only Pac-12 quarterback is Caleb Williams.
Absolutely ridiculous. You know what's not ridiculous is dinner or lunch at Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, a Memphis staple for 4 decades. You can dine in at any of their 4 restaurants. You can carry out, go through that drive-through, no contact delivery, have any of the services deliver to your home or office. They have specialized in catering for those 4 decades, and they'll start you out as low as just $8.99 per person, no matter how small, no matter how large, whether it be for a tailgating party, watching football or any other sports, or just a get-together at your home, maybe a little family reunion or a birthday or an anniversary. It's always a great time for Corky's. That delicious slow-smoked barbecue and all the fixins, plus the barbecue nachos and the cheese and sausage plates. Plus, if you want to go outside the barbecue family, they have an award-winning catfish plate. They have tamales, amazing desserts as well. Party packs start at just $7.49 and lunch specials every single day. Located in Cordova at Germantown Parkway, or on Germantown Parkway, Goodman Road in Olive Branch, Poplar Avenue in both Collierville and Poplar Avenue in East Memphis. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week, and you can reserve their private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch location. Just give them a call and set up your time and date. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Hour 2 in the books. Coming up in hour 3, we're talking Grizzlies a week away from the start of the regular season. We'll be joined by our good buddy DeMichael Cole, and then 5 favorite things. Get your lists in, your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 at 98.5 FM.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500 G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015-137, MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg at East Memphis Ace. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ready to cook in only 15 minutes with cook temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between. Change your at-home cooking experience for life with our unmatched, authentic wood-fired grill flavor that has our customers raving. Get your Big Green Egg and all our accessories at East Memphis Ace on the corner of South White Station and Quince Road.
Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo Saturday, October 21st, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We'll be taking applications and interviewing candidates on site. Salary starting at $54,611, increasing to $60,713 after probation. Benefits include a $15,000 sign-on bonus, up to $10,000 relocation assistance. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still a lot of traffic volume here on Bill Morris Parkway, getting on to 240 up by Mount Moriah. It's finally looking a little bit better over here where we had to deal with that crash all morning on 240 East at Bill Morris Parkway. It's busy up through Midtown, just a normal buildup right now on 240 as you make your way up past Lamar. Hey, don't miss it this year, Smoky Mountain Fall Festival at Ober-Gatlinburg. Check out all the details right now at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Power is everything.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently sunny and 54 degrees, looking at a high of 68 today. Tonight, a few clouds with a low of 59. Then tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of rain, about a 50% chance. We're looking at a high of 78 for your Thursday. It is Wednesday. It's time to talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole.
2 watches, that's 12. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the air.
It's time to talk some Grizzlies basketball. Joining Greg and Eli is DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Here's DeMichael with Greg and Eli.
The always busy DeMichael Cole about to be a lot busier. He's the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. He joins us every Wednesday all year long, talking Grizzlies and NBA. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichael C. Hey, DeMichael.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Doing fantastic. Have you yet, and you may be doing it for a future story, or maybe you don't want to get into the predictions or not, but have you made a prediction yet on the Grizzlies season?
Not anything concrete. Like you said, I'll do something more concrete next week. But I got an idea. You know, I feel like they'll be in that low first tier, possibly second tier in the Western Conference. And I think the West. I mean, I think I've told you this already, Chris. I think the West is going to be so good. Like legitimately, health is gonna be a bigger factor than in recent years. And I mean, health is always a factor, like every NBA season, because injuries will happen. But in the past, teams can survive. You know, if a Ja Morant sprained ankle for a week and a half, this year that can be the difference between a team being the second seed or possibly eighth or ninth play-in. Like I feel like the West will be that good.
Yeah.
But I think the Grizzlies can be in that 3 to 5 range, depending on what shakes out. I think they're comfortably not a play-in team, but they're not probably going to be the 1 seed either. Granted, with all the things, Ja missing the first 25 games, Marcus Smart being a big new addition who hasn't played yet, got to kind of get him worked in. So that's kind of where I have them right now.
Oh, okay. And so let me just jump on that. You said they're not a play-in team. So if they were a play-in team, you would be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now once we see them, like after the first 10 or so games, you have a better gauge at that point. But at this point, yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, think about it like this: they were a number 2 seed the last 2 seasons. The thing about the Grizzlies, like people say, how the Grizzlies been so successful in the regular season as opposed to the playoffs. I always say this: in the playoffs, depth does not matter as much.
Right.
Like your top 3 or 4 guys are going to have to carry the torch. In the regular season, depth is everything. It's a big difference in the regular season, and as compared to the postseason. It's Tyus Jones being your starting point guard, for example. Tyus Jones can step in and fill in the regular season, and the Grizzlies can blow past, a bunch of teams. But when the playoffs get here, you need isolation scoring guys who can break down elite defenders who aren't going to be leaving the court as much and things like that. So the Grizzlies still have that depth. And quite frankly, I think you could make a case that this team is deeper than the 56-win team, from a couple years ago with Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton. Because you have an older Santi Aldama, and then in place of DeAnthony Melton, you have Luke Kennard in his first full season with the Grizzlies. In addition to the younger guys, Desire, David Roddy of the world, getting that more experience. So this team could be deeper. Derrick Rose at point guard. I think the depth still makes them a really good regular season team, and we'll see what happens in the postseason.
So with Marcus Smart on track as he's, I guess, to make his debut and play the final preseason game on Friday night, do you expect Friday to really kind of be that dress rehearsal? Like, the starting lineup is probably what we'll see on opening night?
Oh, it will be. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I've been told as well. Like, it's going to be that exactly, kind of like a dress rehearsal type thing. Now, Taylor Jenkins did say something like, if you go back in the past in the preseason, like the Grizzlies have always had that dress rehearsal type game. But the thing with this year is they're still trying to figure out, that 5th starter. But I think at the end of the day, this is going to be, that game where the rotations, think about it. Like Marcus Smart hasn't started yet, but Derrick Rose also hasn't come off the bench yet. So there's that adjustment. He has to, get used to playing alongside of other guys that he'll be playing alongside, in different spots in the rotation. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. But, yeah, this definitely should be a dress rehearsal.
I would imagine, especially with Ja out, but even when Ja comes back, that you believe Des Bane will probably be their leading scorer?
Oh, man. I think eventually it'll be Ja. Like, I think Des is just so unselfish. To a point where, I feel like you can see more of those Brooklyn Nets type games. where we saw last season where Dez and Ja were going toe-to-toe with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, 30-plus points. You see more of that, but I think Ja, with this new style of offense that the Grizzlies are emphasized playing, especially with the spacing, more 5 out, like that is, Ja Morant's game to a T.
What do you expect out of Jaren on the offensive end? Do we see that, especially early in the season without Ja, do we see that aggressive Jaren that we saw at the end of last year?
I think so. And, to me, again, it goes to this new style of offense that the Grizzlies are playing, where they're more, planning to be 5 out. It goes to the point that Steven Adams will be back. And when you have Steven Adams on the floor, teams can't just say, like the Lakers did in the playoffs, Jaren is beating us up. Now let's put Anthony Davis on him. Like, you can't do that because there's no way in the world that any team out there is going to put a smaller guy on Steven Adams and think they have a chance on the glass. So, those combined factors, I think this is, and of course with Ja missing the first 25 games and Jaren's offensive role being that much more magnified, I think he's on pace to potentially have a 20-point-per-game type season this year.
DeMichael Cole joining us, the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. When the Grizzlies acquired Derrick Rose, the conversation was, among other things, that with Ja out, Marcus Smart will probably be playing more of a wing, and D. Rose will be the point guard. And then when Ja comes back, then D. Rose will probably not see much action at all. But now doesn't it appear, or you get that vibe, that Derrick Rose is going to be in the mix as long as he's healthy all season long?
Yeah, I do, and it's going to fluctuate. Like, don't get me wrong. He will. I'm sure he's going to get some DNPs, just off the fact that, again, maintenance is a big deal with the Grizzlies and Derrick Rose.
Right.
So I think as Marcus Smart and Ja Morant, are both going to be inserted in the starting lineup, they're going to be able to stagger those guys where basically one is playing with the backups most of the time. You get Desmond Bane in there as well. But Derrick Rose, I think, is firmly, in the backup point guard role. It's going to look a little different this season because you basically got, in a way, you got 2, and really 3 if you count Dez, primary ball handler type guys starting. So especially with Marcus Smart and Ja, that's 2 guys who've averaged over 6 assists multiple times, in the NBA. So I think there is a role, for Derrick Rose regardless. When Ja's back, if Ja's not back, whatever the case may be, he's going to have a role on this team.
Going back to Jaren, his 3-point attempts have gone progressively down year by year since that second year when he attempted over 6.5 a game. Last year was at 4.5. What do you think is the right kind of happy spot for Jaren as far as 3-point attempts?
I think it's around there. I think it's about 4 because for me, I don't want to see Jaren get too 3-point happy because I keep going back to this offensive shift that the Grizzlies are going to make, and if this offense succeeds, a lot of guys are going to get open looks, open 3-pointers because you're talking about 5 out and having guys like Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, Derrick Rose really put pressure on the rim, and even Jaren Jackson Jr. And we know how teams like to, when Steven Adams goes to get boards, teams really like to bring an extra guy down crashing. So a lot of 3-point looks for other guys, and basically Jaren can be one of the guys who creates that. He talked about really working on his playmaking in the offseason, and part of him being a better playmaker is working out a double team. He said he watched a lot of Kevin Garnett. He watched some Dirk Nowitzki. Working out of double teams is going to be big for him, especially while Ja is out. And if that's the case, I think around 4 3-point attempts, will be good. It's going to be a matchup thing with him, right? Like there's going to be probably out of an 82-game season, 75 to 76, 77 times he's going to just be straight up bigger than whoever's guarding him.
Exactly.
And the emphasis is going to be, just dominate that matchup. But there are going to be a couple nights out there. You look at the Lakers where they have Christian Wood and potentially Anthony Davis start. Like those guys size-wise will probably match up better with Jaren Jackson Jr. and a couple other teams, have a decent, amount of size as well. And in those matchups, it might make more sense. Hey, let's bring this guy to the 3-point line and shoot 6 or 7 attempts. But at the end of the day, I think it evens out to around 4 a game.
All right, dust off the Michael Cole little crystal ball there, and give me how it's going to work next Wednesday. And that's assuming everybody's available other than John Morant. Starting lineup and the rotation and how they come off the bench. Who comes off first? Give me kind of the whole thing that you think Taylor Jenkins is going to do.
Okay. I think the starting lineup will be Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain. I got Zaire Williams as starting small forward, and then Jaren and Steven Adams. I think he's going to go 10-man rotation, early in the season. I think Derrick Rose is your backup point guard. Then you got Luke Kennard. David Roddy gets the rest of the minutes at small forward. Then you go Santi and Xavier Tillman Sr. So I don't have John Conchar and Jake LaRavia in at this point. Now, some of those minutes with Roddy could potentially be mixed in with those guys, but everything that I've kind of been led to believe up to this point is that David Roddy and Zaire Williams are kind of the two guys who are positioning themselves, at least for the starting small forward spot. But I think Luke Kennard and Santi get a lot of minutes off the bench. Potentially, we could be seeing Luke Kennard play more minutes than Zaire Williams, or close to the amount of minutes, even though Zaire will get the start, depending on matchup. I think of a team like New Orleans, you're probably going to need Zaire in the game a little bit more because you're going to have Brandon Ingram, you're going to have C.J. McCollum. So two guys that you're going to need quality defenders to guard. But I think they go 10-man rotation early on, and those are the 10 guys that I got outlined for the minute.
And health-wise, everybody's good to go right now, right?
Yeah. Outside of a couple nicks and bruises, we know Marcus Smart is working his way back. Jake LaRavia has missed the last 2 preseason games. He had his right wrist taped up in practice on yesterday, but it sounds like he's pretty much cleared to go at this point. So the Grizzlies were just being cautionary over there. But yeah, for the most part, everyone's healthy at this point.
Other
Steven
than
Adams
Brandon
is
Clark,
ramping
obviously.
up. Yeah, right, exactly.
And Jitty had some personal issue, and that's
Yeah,
why he okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was dealing with a personal matter, and if you saw, he wasn't even at those games. So he was kind of away from the team for a little bit while he dealt with that.
All right, as you alluded to earlier, and I'm in total agreement, this West, as it normally is going to be crazy because there are teams that were near the bottom that have improved, teams that were towards the bottom that are actually playoff contenders this year. And I know the preseason means diddly squat, but you got teams like the Timberwolves and the Rockets who are undefeated in the preseason. But when it's all said and done, how many teams of the 15 are competing to be in the postseason? That includes, obviously, the play-in. How many of those teams do you think are legitimate contenders to be in at least the play-in, if not the playoffs?
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting because the short answer is a lot. Like, I think we're talking 11 teams, possibly even 12. Depending on how this shakes out. Like, you got the Spurs at the bottom. These are the bottom teams, I think. The Spurs, you got the Blazers, and potentially the Rockets. Spurs, Blazers, Rockets. Now, you could throw the Jazz in there as well, but I think the Jazz, acquiring John Collins to go with Lauri Markkanen, they're well coached by Will Hardy. They can be they'll be relevant. That's a team, the Grizzlies go there twice, I think, early in the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Utah wins one of those games. Like, they're sneaky. But I think it's 11 firmly that you can say, like, I think I had the Mavs as my 11th team, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs are like the 4th seed, like at the end of the day. Like with Kyrie and Luka getting a full year together, and then you insert Grant Williams in there, like, I think there's a realistic possibility that they could be that team. But the Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, the Clippers, the Thunder are a trendy team that everyone's projecting to kind of rise up. The Lakers, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, the Suns, and the Kings. That's 11.
Jeez.
I mean, it's loaded. You could literally make a case for 17 to be the team coming out of the Western Conference.
Well, especially if Zion Williamson actually is healthy and New Orleans, which is already a talented team. You have that combination. You mentioned Oklahoma City, now Chet Holmgren, healthy to go along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and that talented bunch. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly San Antonio gets better, at least competitive, with Wembanyama. And then, of course, the other thing that's hovering is, will the Sixers trade Harden, and will it be to the Clippers? So these are all questions that still need to be answered, but certainly it is going to be a wild ride in the West.
It is. I'm telling you, it's really going to come down to just little things. Like, it's going to be an ankle injury here for this player while this team goes on a 5-game road trip, and boom, they fall from second to in the play-in. Like, it literally will be that type of thing. Like, think of the Pelicans last season, right? I think a lot of people forget that the Pelicans were a top 2 seed until the new year when Zion got hurt, and they pretty much fell out of the hunt. So, I think of teams like that. The Thunder are a trendy team. They're healthy now. Guys like Chet Holmgren being in the mix. And then, a team like the Jazz, like I said, they acquired John Collins. So they're going all in on this nice young core that they have. And then there are the teams that feel like this could be their breakthrough year. The Kings running it back pretty much with their core. The Clippers with another year of Kawhi and Paul George and all those pieces they have around them, getting Russell Westbrook back. They feel like they have a good shot. The Lakers, a full season now after they turned it around after the trade deadline. So we'll see, man. But a lot of teams can say, hey, we think we can win this year and can make solid cases.
We didn't even mention the Nuggets, the Suns. I mean,
They're the champs.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
You know what you don't need? Here's what you don't need. Your best player to get a 25-game suspension. Oh, wait, that's too late. Yeah, that'll be a factor as well. He's DeMichael Cole. He covers the Grizzlies, and he does a great job doing so for the Commercial Appeal. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC and catch him every Wednesday right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Next Wednesday, we'll actually be talking about opening night in Memphis. DeMichael, thank you as always. Really appreciate it.
All right, take care, guys.
You too.
When the Grizzlies are on, or any of the action is on, any games are on, like Major League Baseball playoffs, college football, NFL football, Grizzlies, Tigers, whatever it is, place to watch it would be East Coast Wings and Grill. I was up there last night watching a little bit of the Major League Baseball playoffs and college football while enjoying some wings. You got plenty of wing flavors to choose from, 60 of them. 60 different wings. Last night had my favorite, the Spike Bourbon Street, which is one of the 60 flavors of wings that they have for you at East Coast Wings and Grill. And their wings are the big, meaty wings, not those little tiny ones that you get at some other places. Always fresh, never frozen. Of course, plenty of other great items on the menu as well, from the burgers to the flatbreads and much, much more. Don't forget their rewards program, where you could earn rewards for every dollar that you spend. Today being Wednesday, that means kids eat for just $1.99 from 3:30 until close. So you can take advantage of that if you take the kids up there to East Coast Wings and Grill. 3:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday is happy hour. 2-for-1 drink specials, 2-for-1 beers, bucket specials as well that you could take advantage of during happy hour Monday through Friday. Again, from 3:30 until 6:30. East Coast Wings and Grill located just off Highway 64. That's right between Lowe's and Walmart off Highway 64. East Coast Wings and Grill.
When we come back, 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. Get your lists in at 901-360-8255. That's the Sports 56 listener line. Just text in or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Send it to the website, sportsmemphis.com. 5 favorite things is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
Hi, fellas. Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and it's fall now. The weather's changing, the days are getting shorter, and we all are at least beginning to think about Christmas. This will be our 38th Christmas at Russell Brothers Jewelers, and I enjoy every minute of the season. Come see our wide selection of the finest jewelry in Memphis. Jewelry guaranteed to make her happy. Diamonds and rubies, sapphires and emeralds, the most beautiful gemstones you can imagine, and you'll find a vast selection of rings and earrings, bracelets and pendants that will show those gems off to their finest advantage, and they'll put a smile on her face. With our 5 decades of experience, we can help you find just that perfect piece. The piece that says, I love you. For 38 years, we've offered the most stunning jewelry in Memphis, and when you couple that jewelry with our quality and beauty, our value and service, you'll be glad you joined the Russell Brothers Fine Jewelry family. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
It's time for the Fall Haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the Fall Haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500 G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015-137, MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Final half hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Got some NFL news to get to a little bit later on. Speaking of the NFL, new week of the NFL begins tomorrow night. The Jags and the Saints, and we'll have that game for you right here on Sports 56. Right now, though, it's time for 5 favorite things.
I'm Bob. I like a number that's easy to count to. That's why I really appreciate the number 5. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you are at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 on it. 5. Now you may notice that if you multiply 5 by an even number, your product will end in 0. And if you multiply 5 by an odd number, your product will end in 5.
5 favorite things.
Each and every Wednesday, we give you a topic. We do 5 favorite things. We'd love for you to participate. Every Tuesday, we'll let you know what that topic is. This week, it's 5, and your 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. If you'd like to participate, there's still time. Hit us up on the Sports 56 listener lines by texting in your list at 901-360-8255. If you can, number it 5 to 1, 1 to 5. You can add an honorable mention if you'd like. Or you can send your lists to Twitter, to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it right to the website, and that's www.sportsmemphis.com. Again, 5 favorite television medical shows of all time. All right, I'll go first this time. We'll go Eli second, then we'll go Zach,
and then we will get to our listeners. I do not have an honorable mention for this topic. Number 5 is a current show, Chicago Med, part of the Chicago shows medley on Thursday when you get the Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago Police, or whatever it's called, PD. Terrific shows, all 3 of them. Number 4, I go back in time. For some reason, my fraternity, not all the guys, but for some reason, we came back from class in the afternoon and we would watch the great storyline of Luke and Laura. For those who are old enough to remember, General Hospital, which I think may still be on the air. I don't know. Stopped watching it after college, but we watched it a lot. General Hospital, number 4, an afternoon soap opera. Number 3, Scrubs. And the return of the 2 stars from that show that are doing the commercial for, was it T-Mobile? Number 2 is MASH, one of the greatest shows of all time, but not my favorite television medical show because I strictly went drama, even though it's fine to go with a comedy like MASH was. But number 1, great medical show, funny as hell as well, St. Elsewhere. St. Elsewhere, number 1. My all-time favorite television medical show.
All right.
Question is, did any of mine make your list? Because we know none of Jerry Palm's made your list.
One of yours did.
Just one, okay.
Yeah, I realize I have not watched many
medical shows.
I don't watch any of the current stuff. So, yeah, I was like, man, I thought there were more medical shows in my history than there actually was.
So did I. When I came up with the topic, I go, there's going to be a lot. And then, there's enough. But, yeah, it was a little bit less than what I thought.
Number 5. Oh, I do have an honorable mention. I forgot. I don't know if you're like, it was on Adult Swim. Children's Hospital.
No, I never saw it.
Oh, gosh. It's Children's Hospital is just hilarious stuff, but it wasn't like it was just those little short things.
Uh-huh.
But what's the bald dude's name?
Who voices it over?
Rob Corddry or whatever.
Rob Corddry.
Yeah, he's so awesome in that show. But yeah,
it's animated, right? And then
no.
This is regular. Oh, I thought Adult Swim was all animated.
No, it's just. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but it's hilarious if you've never seen any of them.
Okay,
they're it's very funny. But I put it as an honorable mention. Number 5. I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in many years. I thought it was good when it first came on, and then it got so stupid that I quit watching it. That's Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Grey's Anatomy because
after
it's
about 3
forever.
seasons, I was done with it. It had gotten a little too.
Yeah, how many earthquakes and tornadoes and things like that can you deal with?
The fact that it is still on blows
amazing.
my mind.
I know.
That's lasted as long as it has. But number 5, Grey's Anatomy. Number 4 as actually a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy that was better than Grey's Anatomy, and that's Private Practice.
Is that still on the air?
No, that only did a few seasons.
Okay.
That was Kate Walsh.
That's right.
That was her
Kate Walsh,
spin-off.
okay.
Number 3, Scrubs. Number 2, Doogie Howser, which is...
Yeah, Doogie Howser was good. You're right. Doogie
great
Howser
show.
was good.
Doogie Howser was a great show. Neil Patrick Harris is awesome.
Doogie Howser was good. I didn't give it much consideration. I think it went in one ear, out the other. I was listening to some of the clips and things of that some of these shows and watching some of the clips and
I
didn't give that more consideration.
I was a big fan of Doogie Howser. And then number 1 to me by quite a wide margin is ER.
Yeah, I never got into ER. I'm surprised you didn't put MASH. Is it just because
I never watched it.
You never watched MASH?
No.
Oh, you need to watch MASH, man. If they're on reruns.
No, I don't.
No, it's good. No, you'll really like it.
You're with me, Zach. No, you don't.
No.
When MASH comes on,
you.
that means it's time to go to bed.
What does that mean? Is MASH on right now?
Well, not right now.
Like
I'm just
reruns
saying, when
on
it comes on
TV
later.
right now?
Bedtime.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, it's past my bedtime. Like I don't. Need to
I
watch
have
this.
no desire.
Oh,
to watch
I think
MASH.
you would enjoy MASH.
I don't
Come
have a
on.
desire to watch any show from when was it on the 60s?
70s MASH.
70s. I don't have any desire to watch any 70s show right now.
The finale of MASH, I don't know if it still stands now, was the most watched television program in the history of TV. Like for a while there. I'm not sure if it's still number 1. All right, Zach, what do you got?
So I want to start with an honorable mention. I had Private Practice as an honorable mention, but you threw out the word cartoon, and a cartoon actually stuck out, and I was like, wait, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm giving that to Doc McStuffins.
What is
Shout out
Doc
to the
McStuffins?
kids out there.
What is Doc McStuffins?
So Doc McStuffins is basically a kid doctor who goes around and fixes toys.
Oh, is it so it's a cartoon?
Yeah, so she's called Dr. McStuffin, and she goes around and she fixes her toys.
Good for her. Good for her.
Good for the McStuffins.
They need somebody out there to fix the toys. Yes, absolutely.
Santa's elves just build them. They don't fix them.
Exactly.
Gotta have somebody fix.
They wipe their hands clean once they've built the toys.
Once they've been distributed, they're out of the game.
Somebody got to call the doc at some point.
Yeah, listen. We need a toy doctor out there.
Yes. So Doc McStuffins gets my honorable mention.
Okay.
Number 5, The Resident.
The Resident.
I'm not familiar with The Resident.
It's one of the more newer shows.
Okay.
I think, but I've seen.
I think I have actually seen some previews or something for it. I've never seen it.
Okay.
Number 4, The Good Doctor.
Yeah, that's the one. You know what? It was weird. When I was putting my list together yesterday, I hate that show. I hate it. I've seen it. I hate it. I don't get it. I mean, I understand the dude's got like, what does he have? What's the affliction he has?
I don't know what type of inflection, but the kid
my
gosh.
Autistic.
He's autistic. Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
That was just a pure guess. I don't know. I've never seen the show, but I just assumed that seems like something they would go
He's
with.
autistic, yet he's doing heart transplants. I mean, it's ludicrous. But you know what? That's what I started to look at that, and I was watching. I go, I don't like this, and I think I started to mix that up with Doogie Howser because it was a kid doctor. He's a kid doctor. Doogie Howser was a kid doctor, and I think I got the damn two mixed up because Doogie probably should have been on my list. Sorry.
Yeah, he was smart. Like I was impressed by just him just looking at his patients. He's like, yeah, like he has something going on with him. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? It's like you haven't done an exam on him.
Hey,
exactly.
That's what makes him a good doctor.
Good doctor.
Otherwise, he could be the bad doctor.
Never would have been given the job in real life.
He could have been the great doctor. I mean, but he's just the good. He's just solid. Enough. He's just good.
Yeah, they got to stay humble,
It's like I see. He's not even looking up. He's not even doing any diagnosis. I see. Heart problems right here. I'm going in. Hey, sure, doc, go in there, man. Go in there. No diagnosis needed. Go ahead and make the heart transplant there, buddy.
Yeah.
Stupid show.
Anyway. But I like it, though.
Okay.
Number 3, House. Number 2, Grey's Anatomy. That's number 2. Surprisingly, that should be a number 1 on a lot of women's lists because they love Grey's Anatomy.
How many years,
women do
Eli?
love that
Women
list.
love Grey's Anatomy.
Eli, 20 years? How long has it been on? I mean, literally, it's been on forever.
Be approaching that.
Not literally, but figuratively.
It's got to be approaching 20 seasons.
It's got to be. Right?
I'm trying to think when it was that I was watching it. It was a long time ago. And I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
It will have a 20th season.
Okay, so there you go.
What a guess. Okay.
It will have a 20th season, so be on standby, ladies. And then number 1, and I give that to Bones.
Bones. Okay, Bones with what's his name? Not Tim McGraw, but the lead actor from Bones. What's his name? Can you look up his name? He's the son. I grew up watching Philadelphia News, and one of the main weather guys in Philadelphia, a guy by the name of Dave Roberts. That's his son.
Who's that? David Boresnine?
Yes,
I can't pronounce his last name.
I don't know if he's used the stage name or Dave Roberts used the stage name, but either way, that's his son, and he's the star of that Bones. But I never watched Bones either. It's just never one I got into. All right, let's get to our listeners.
Carolyn on Twitter, number 5, Scrubs. Number 4, MASH. Number 3, Grey's Anatomy. Number 2, ER. And number 1, House. Honorable mention to Dr. Kildare.
Dr. Kildare, that's an old one. I'm surprised it wasn't on JP's list.
Murray has Nip Tuck.
Okay.
ER, House, Grey's Anatomy, and Doogie Howser. Bill goes with MASH, and Dr. Pimple Popper.
I was wondering if somebody was going to go with that. I swear to God, I was thinking the same thing. Dr. Pimple Popper.
That's another one. I've heard of it.
Sick.
Never watched it because by the name of it, It is something that I don't want to watch.
Dude, some of those pimples are huge.
They probably should have named it something else if they wanted me to watch it.
Like those giant pumpkins that they grow? They're like that big. No.
John, number 5, St. Elsewhere. Number 4, Doogie Howser. Number 3, The Resident. Number 2, MASH. And number 1, Emergency. Marie, number 5, House. Number 4, Quincy. Number 3, The Good Doctor. Number 2, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh, yeah.
And number 1, Marcus Welby.
James has one here. Marcus Welby, MD. Trapper John, MD. You know who Trapper John is?
An MD.
Character from MASH. It's the same guy, Trapper John. ER, St. Elsewhere, and Julia. Was Julia Diane Carroll from back in the late 60s? I think she was a nurse. Maybe the first African-American female actress
Julia
in
came
a
up
TV
among
series.
our TV moms last week.
I think she did, yeah. I may have brought that up as well. Pretty sure it's Diane Carroll, the beautiful Diane Carroll.
Another one here, number 5, Medical Center. Number 4, Trapper John. Number 3, Ben Casey.
Okay, there's a lot more than I thought.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
Ben Casey
it's
is.
another old one, man.
Number 2, Chicago Hope. And number 1, Marcus Welby.
Chicago Hope, what did I say? Did I say Chicago Med? No, that's different, right? Chicago Hope's different than Chicago Med. Chicago Med's on my list. All right.
Ben Casey, Marcus Welby, Dr. Kildare, Medic, and ER. Tennessee Tom, honorable mention to General Hospital. Number 5, Grey's Anatomy. Number 4, House. Number 3, Quincy. Number 2, ER. And number 1, MASH.
Thank you, Tom, with a little love for General Hospital back at the Sigma Chi House in College Park, Maryland.
Why were you as college kids watching?
I don't know.
Everybody knows college kids watch Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives is the college soap opera. Not General Hospital.
I don't know why we watched. It was Luke and Laura. Do you remember?
Every college kid watched Days of Our Lives.
So
not General Hospital.
In 80 to 84, you were not even. What were you? Born in 74?
Yes.
So you were 6 to 10. So you probably don't remember. But Luke and Laura was one of the biggest things in television, not just daytime television. And so for some stupid reason, my buddy who's texting like right now would pop it on his television in his room, and there's about 10 or 12 of the brothers. We come in there for some stupid reason, drink a beer, and watch Luke and Laura in General Hospital.
You were watching the wrong one. Should have been watching Days of Our Lives. Raider Corey, number 5, Chicago Hope. Number 4, The Good Doctor. Number 3, ER. Number 2, House. And number 1, New Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam. My wife loves that one. And she's, I don't know if it's still on the air or not, but she got behind.
Is that where is that the hospital where they make the vodka?
They treat all their patients with vodka. New Amsterdam in New York. I think she's like 15 shows behind, like 15 episodes. They're all stacked up there on the DVR.
Bobby, number 5, St. Elsewhere. Number 4, General Hospital. Number 3, Dr. Quinn. Number 2, Diagnosis Murder. And number 1, Doogie Howser.
My wife has chimed in. Eli is wrong. Everyone watched General Hospital in college.
Now. You were bad colleges. You were in bad colleges then. Everybody watched.
Why did we watch soap operas?
College kids watch Days of Our Lives.
Hey, listen, if there's one thing I do know, women knows what they're talking about with the soap operas. So I'm not hopping into none of that conversation.
I'm still amazed when I think about why did I go in there and watch these things.
Yes.
But anyway.
Miss Gaston, if you're listening, you are correct, ma'am. General Hospital is what college students are watching. You are correct.
They're both further removed from college than me. So let me I got this one. Let's see here. Number 5, Scrubs. Number 4, Emergency. Number 3, St. Elsewhere. Number 2, MASH. And number 1, House. Honorable mention to Trapper John, MD.
Are Scrubs and MASH the only 2 medical shows that you would consider comedies, not dramas? I don't know about House. I never watched
Children's
House.
Hospital is definitely a comedy.
Well, that one, yeah.
Children's Hospital is definitely
I got to
comedy.
watch that now because I love Rob Corddry, by the way.
Cardinal Steve. Number 5, Marcus Welby. Number 4, MASH. Number 3, The Good Doctor. Number 2, ER. And number 1, St. Elsewhere.
There you go. St. Elsewhere. Man,
I know my mom used to watch St. Elsewhere.
St. Elsewhere was terrific. I think it was a hospital in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Howie Mandel was on that.
See, Raider Corey says, yes, Patch and Kayla from Days of Our Lives. That's what I watched. I'm telling you, Bo and Hope and the whole thing. Come on. Which is, I think all those characters are still on Days of Our Lives, which is amazing to me that those things can still be 30 years later. It's all the same characters still on there.
It may be the time periods. I don't know. My wife, man, she says, House was the worst. I guess it's off the air now. Nothing was right medically. She's in the medical field, so she's not looking at the characters or how good they are acting or comedy-wise. She's looking at the medical procedures. Sometimes you got to give them a little, what do you call it, that they do in movies. Give them a little bit of, what is it, leadway or whatever to do things that may not be orthodox, let's just say.
Right, of course, says Trapper John was also Adam from Bonanza.
Trapper John was... Oh, wow. Adam from Bonanza? I don't think I ever knew that. But Trapper John, the character, was on MASH. So he went from MASH, not the same actor, but the guy, the character. Then became Trapper John, MD.
Somebody says One Life to Live. Nobody watched. Nobody. If you weren't, I will give this from my days of watching soap operas. General Hospital. If people didn't watch Days of Our Lives, I think they usually watch General Hospital. I don't know of anybody that watched One Life to Live. Somebody else says All My Children was the best.
All My Children, my mom watched. I remember that. But here's the thing. I don't know if there was a bigger plot storyline in soap opera history than Luke and Laura. Christopher Cross even wrote a song about it. Now, it wasn't quite about that.
I don't know.
Laura, but
in Days of Our Lives, the 14 different deaths of Mr. Kyriakis, and he would always come back to life. I think that was a pretty big storyline. But dude used to die
Mr. Kyriakis?
He used to die every other year, it seemed like, and then the next season he would have come back. Like, he actually just disappeared for a while.
But
always. And then when John Black came back nobody who knew who he was. Like,
I think I remember John Black.
I can remember. Sadly, I remember the various storylines of Days of Our Lives.
But you know what? As far as the actors and actresses from soap operas, maybe no bigger name than Susan Lucci from All My Children, who was notorious for losing every year. She was always up for the daytime Emmy Award. Lost, finally won. Finally, she got a W.
Tennessee Tom says General Hospital had John Stamos, Rick Springfield, Demi Moore, Eva Longoria, James Franco, and Richard Hamill, and many other future stars.
Pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Hey, you had Uncle Jesse.
Eva Longoria. Easy on the eyes.
Yes. Doug says Young and the Restless was a great one. What ones are still on? I know Days of Our Lives is still on. All My Children is gone, right?
I think
Didn't that just go off the air a couple years ago?
I think so.
Is General Hospital still on?
I don't think so. I'm going to have to look it up now. Killing time here on
Days of Our Lives is the only one that I know for sure is still on, because I've seen it I'll walk by a TV and I literally see a character and I go, and I know the character. I'm like, this is sad that I haven't watched the thing in literally since college, but I can immediately look up and recognize the character because it's the same damn actor.
Okay. Are there any soap operas still on television? It says yes. As of September 2022, only 4 daytime soap operas, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful, are still in production, with 3 airing on 2 broadcast networks and 1 on streaming, down from a total of 12 soaps broadcast during the 90-91 season. So I don't know if any of those 4 went kaput this past year and are not on this year. I can't tell you that. Remember, there was the writer's strike, too, so I don't know if that affected daytime television as well. I would imagine it did. So that may have been put on halt as far as production.
Well, they don't need new writers. They don't need writers because all they're doing is recycling the same storyline from 20 years ago.
The same dead guy is coming back to life.
It's just the same thing over again.
All right.
We just lost our female listeners, man.
There we go. There we go.
The Brady family and Days of Our Lives. I love the Brady family. Again, Days of Our Lives. My mom used to record it every single day on her VHS tape. And boy, if you screwed up the VCR and she missed out on the recording, oh my God. Did you hear about that one? That was never, ever good. Genesis Diamonds, speaking of, they're very good. They're very, very good.
They're the opposite.
They're the opposite of that. That's I needed to go. If you ruin her recording, you needed to go to Genesis Diamonds just to smooth it over with her by getting her some fine jewelry. That's what you can find at Genesis Diamonds. If you're thinking about getting engaged, you need an engagement ring, the place to go, Genesis Diamonds. They've got thousands of engagement rings right there in the store for you to check out, along with many other great things like earrings and pendants and bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, the pre-owned Rolex watches. It's amazing the selection they got. The prices are amazing. The service is amazing. They have taken over Memphis like they did with Nashville and Louisville and Cincinnati. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar Commons Shopping Center, Poplar and Perkins Extended. Don't buy anywhere else until you go give them a try. You'll be amazed. You'll be blown away like everybody else is when they go buy Genesis Diamonds.
Got some NFL news to wrap it up. We'll do that when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Response to the all-new Genesis Diamonds has been incredible. People are loving what we've brought to Memphis. Genesis is a different kind of jewelry store with more jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. And Genesis is Memphis's home for the most sought-after jewelry designers in America. Thousands of styles from names like Tacori, Verragio, Henry Dossi, Kirk Cara, Simon G, Christopher Designs, A. Jaffe, and more. Premium designer rings every woman dreams of. Handcrafted rings with intricate detail, extreme craftsmanship, and stunning artistic design. And not just rings. Genesis is home to a world-class selection of timeless and stylish fine jewelry and a killer selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. We can even custom design your dream piece as well. At Genesis, we're here to make your jewelry dreams come true. Discover the Genesis difference, forever changing how people in Memphis buy diamonds and fine jewelry. Now open at Poplar and Perkins, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
There's a whole lot of savings going on now at Staples. During Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $150 on select office and desk chairs. And when you buy a chair, you save 25% on desks, storage solutions, and office accessories. Plus, your local Staples now accepts Amazon returns. And when you return an Amazon order at Staples, you receive a coupon for $10 off your next $30 Staples purchase. Now is definitely the time to save at Staples. Chair offer ends 10/28, in-store only. Exclusions apply on Amazon offer.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678-6055, MSRP 21,610, Nero P501-7859, MSRP 41,090, EV6 P501-7859, MSRP 49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $29.99 due at signing. I've I've got EV action with a 2023 Niro EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA, estimated range $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Ready to unlock your home's potential? A huge sale has up to 50% off retail at Everything's Yours Appliances with 2 convenient locations in Mississippi, 7095 Hacks Cross Road, Olive Branch, and 8478 Highway 178 West in Visalia. Invest in new appliances knowing you got a great deal. Everything's Yours Appliances has no credit financing available with low down payment and delivery. Everything's Yours Appliances has all major appliances and name brands. Hurry to Everything's Yours Appliances, where customers are number one.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car look great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
This hour is brought to you by Acura Memphis, Ridgeway 385, online, AcuraMemphis.com. Go by if you're looking for a new car or pre-owned vehicle, you could go talk to the folks at Acura Memphis. It appears as though Days of Our Lives is no longer on here in Memphis.
Just in Memphis? I mean,
I'm looking at Memphis's TV listings, and Days of Our Lives does not come on. But I could have swore I was just somewhere not that long ago, and they had the TV on, and I saw Days of Our Lives on. Maybe that wasn't here. Maybe it was somewhere else that I was doing it.
Maybe up in Edwardsville or something.
The Young and the Restless is on at 11 a.m., and General Hospital comes on at 1 p.m. But I do not see Days of Our Lives listed on NBC here.
Wow.
Anyway.
General Hospital has lasted this long. Pretty amazing. All right, it is time for us to wrap things up. Before we do, though, a couple of NFL notes. Darrell Henderson, the former Memphis Tiger, back with the Rams. He was signed to their practice squad. Julio Jones, the former Titan, has signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles. And the Bears have another quarterback, Trace McSorley. Also, if you missed it, the commish. Roger Goodell has a new contract extension that'll add 3 years onto his deal through March of 2027. I want to thank all our great guests today, Alex Simmons, Trent Dilfer, the UAB football coach, Lawrence Dockery, Jerry Palm, and DeMichael Cole. Tomorrow, we'll talk Major League Baseball playoffs with Kerry Miller. Ryan Silverfield, the head coach of the Memphis Tigers football team, will join us. We'll have the Tiger Football Report, plus the AutoZone Liberty Bowl Inside College Football Hour. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everyone.